Welcome to the replay. This is the Kratom Gals. We are an independent, opinion-based panel of Kratom consumers reacting to headlines, hearings, and media coverage surrounding this plant. We're not insiders. We're not lobbyists. We're just real people who believe everyday consumers deserve a seat at the table in this conversation. Every week we dig into what's being said about Kratom. There's never a shortage of it. There's so much of it in the media. There's always different hearings going on around the country with government. We look at these videos, we see who's saying it, what holds up against publicly available facts, and what you're always going to get from us is honest reaction and lived experience. I'm Madeline Sklar. I'm the host of this live stream series, which, by the way, we've been doing at this time slot, Saturday afternoons, every week for like 2.5 years now. This has been our time to gather together and hang out, have our community come hang out with us and have these real honest conversations and helping us stay educated about the plant and helping us learn how to advocate better so our voices are heard. I also host the Kratom Stories podcast and the Kratom Real Talk community. I've been consuming Kratom every day for the last 7 years, and it's been incredible for my debilitating chronic pain. And so that's why I'm a very loud, proud advocate. And it's why I do all these things I do here that I'm not hired to do. I do this on my own time because I believe that strongly and I'm that passionate about our plant. If these conversations are valuable to you, one of the best ways you can support our show is by hitting the like and subscribe button here on YouTube. That'll help us reach more people. So if you haven't done that yet, please take a moment and just very simple, hit the like, hit the subscribe. One quick note before we dive in, this live stream is for educational purposes only. We are not medical professionals here. Nothing should be taken as medical advice. We're sharing our personal experiences in advocating for responsible legal access to Kratom. All the views expressed here by me and the panelists that are about to come on screen, they're all our own. And so now let's bring up the Kratom Gals and pals. We have pals with us, not just the gals. Hey, everybody. Good to see y'all.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Great to see Dan and Sarah Pitta.
Hi.
I know I don't always say it right. Pitta from MitraSpec, big Kratom advocates and educators in our community. Just love all the work you all do. Love the videos constantly put out. And I can see in the comments how much the community is loving y'all's videos.
Yeah, there's no shortage of information lately, too, with videos. It's hard to actually keep up with lately for us. So, yeah, it's a lot.
There's just so much information out there and a lot of misinformation and propaganda, sadly. And you two are doing a great job of trying to get like the accurate information out there so people are more aware because, people watch videos on social media, they watch the news, they read the paper. I don't know how many people still read the newspaper, but they just think everything in print or on video is 100% absolute truth. And that's not necessarily the case.
Exactly.
That's why we're all out here advocating and making sure proper information gets out. It's so important.
Especially when all they're doing is rehashing the old verbiage.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's good to see you. I got Amanda, Robin, Venus, Sarah, and Dan, and Twinkle. Always great seeing everybody here each week. We always have so much to discuss. Because like I said in my opener, it's like there's never a shortage of this. It's just a constant bombardment of information. It gets tiring. So I'm sure you all can relate to that, right?
It's exhausting. I'm taking a smidge of a little bit of a mental decompress this weekend from it because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. New Hampshire is a little bit draining right now for me. So I'm just kind of gathering myself this weekend after the podcast and just kind of going to decompress because between New Hampshire, Tennessee, just literally statewide, everywhere, just everywhere. I mean, I can't even say certain states anymore. It's just everywhere. It's a lot. It's a lot to hear customers panic and start freaking out. And what are they going to do? That takes a toll on my mental health because I'm now stuck in that position as well as some of my customers. So I can sympathize. I can relate to what they're going to. And it's just sad to see people have to go back to suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had invited Dan and Sarah to come on today because y'all both spoke in New Hampshire, the state you live in, and they
We
had
did.
their House of Representatives. That's right, and it House of Representatives.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it was the House Committee on what was it, criminal justice and
Yeah.
public safety.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch y'all's testimony a little later that y'all did because y'all did an amazing job speaking
Thank
there.
you. We were surprised when we walked in the room and the people that are voting on this had no idea what it was. They said, "What is Kratom?"
They
called it
have no
Kratom.
clue.
No clue. They were surprised because they got many emails, which is awesome, from people telling them how it helps them, and they had no clue about this at all. No idea. So education is a huge problem right now, and that's what's causing a lot of these problems in these states because they don't know at all.
Exactly.
Thank
They're
you for
only
saying
knowing
that.
what's being said on the news, and it's just, to my eyes, it's fear mongering. They're hearing what's on the news, not in reality of what's really going on, and what's
they see like the Facebook news things that
or a simple Google search and it says it's bad and this is so or I walked into this and I saw this. Well, you're not looking beyond a gas station,
Yeah, and it's impossible to get the correct information to the masses because the media doesn't want to present both sides of the story. They want the fear mongering. It's good for clicks. It's good for views. And if you try to get the other side out, you get silence from whatever platform it's on. I mean, TikTok seems to be the best one for us right now as far as letting us actually produce content without having to disguise what we're talking about. And but when you have a room full of state representatives and only one or two of them have ever even heard the term Kratom, let alone have any idea what the controversies are around it. And they've got, with all of the stuff that they're voting on, they've got maybe, an hour that they can devote to actually thinking about this topic outside of hearing the testimony. So they're making these decisions with very little information. And if you try to put information out there for them and the rest of the general public to be able to see, there's very limited ways that you can do it. And then people have to search for it because the algorithms won't promote it. It's just not being presented unless it's negative. So it's only being seen by the people who are already interested in it. And then once you get to those people, you have the people who have heard of it, they're interested in it, but they've already been misinformed. So do you try to spread new information or keep presenting the basics, or do you have to constantly fight the misinformation that's being presented to anybody who is paying enough attention to be searching for it?
And I find anybody who's trying to give, truthful facts, information on what's going on, we're honestly kind of just getting shunned and they don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it. Whether someone has lost something or, someone went to the hospital because they were experiencing whatever they were experiencing because they took something or whatever. That's not us as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they're about ready to just put so many of us as criminals who are law-abiding citizens. And I mean, I wasn't able to physically be there. I had a doctor's appointment and I could not make it. Right. So I'm grateful you guys were there, but I did listen in. And what I did enjoy from watching New Hampshire that I wish so many other states would do is start asking questions, because they asked so many questions and they wanted to learn. And they were like, and I even heard somebody, so and I believe, and I'm not going to quote it word for word, but I do believe him saying, if a microdose of 7-OH is helping chronic pain patients and or addicts, why are we going to ban it? And I was like, thank you. There's clearly, if they're about ready to rule on our lives on what we're going to be able to do, they need the education. We can only get so much to them. We're going here as advocates or vendors or consumers, just saying, hey, this is me and this is why it's helping me. I'm one voice, but we need more advocates showing up. You know, yeah, there's a lot of emails going in, but I'll tell you, from someone who has emailed hundreds of places, different states, legislation, showing up makes a bigger difference. They see you as the person, they see your raw emotion. It's not, you know, they see and hear your voice. That way they're not reading it and it's just being put into whatever narrative they're putting it in. It's coming out of your mouth and they're seeing it first and foremost, you know, like, here I am, I'm on Kratom. I'm using my Kratom for my pain because I'm dependent on something for pain. And I'm completely in my faculties, just as every single one of us are right here. And they've seen that now. They've seen it. The more that we show up, they are seeing this isn't a bad plant or an extract.
They did listen too. It was supposed to take a half hour and we were there for like 3 hours explaining it to them.
New Hampshire
they
has
gave
set
us
the bar. You know, New Hampshire set the bar because they're starting to listen. And it started in Nashua when you know, we had Jen here and her family and, you know, and more of our advocates that show up to every single, you know, the same hearings, all the same advocates I see showing up, you know, getting the Board of Health involved and them saying like, this would be a negative effect if you banned Kratom outright in the area of Nashua, New Hampshire. And we educated them on that. And they didn't ban it. It's regulated, you know, and 708 hours as of right now it's still available, you know. So next week we'll see. Next week we'll see. I really hope that New Hampshire could set the bar for every other state to start following. Rhode Island set the bar. They just overturned it. New Hampshire's asking questions. They are showing that they actually care about the constituents that are showing up to these meetings and sending in the emails, because they're like, wait, if there's this many, however many doses sold or however many people consuming it, you know, like the billions or the trillions or the thousands or whatever it is, this many good people and that small of an amount of like, maybe there's a negative effect. Wait a minute, we can stop and see, is there something positive about it? Because if there was something so bad about it, we would have vast amount of numbers like you see with fentanyl overdoses and xylazine and heroin. You would start seeing those numbers and you're not. So I really hope
something to keep in mind, even though the hearing is over, continue making phone calls and trying to talk with your legislators. Continue sending those emails, because you have all this time between now and the vote to continue to impact their knowledge base, to continue to bring your story to them. Just because the hearing is over doesn't mean you stop. And
absolutely.
I think that's
send a message
that a lot of us don't think about. We think, okay, the hearing's done, we're done.
Especially business owners, they have a lot to help with here. I've seen it firsthand. Business owners are very helpful in this community.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick though, I mean, we got lots of videos to watch I want to get into, but normally my regular business work stuff does not collide with my Kratom advocacy and education stuff I do, but I'm actually relaunching an old program that will help a lot of people in our Kratom community to get comfortable making videos and to be able to share their story, get it on social media, send to their reps. You know, video is so powerful. And when I was doing my own video challenge back in January, a lot of people in the Kratom community were like, you know, if you do this, because I kept saying, who wants to do a 5-day video challenge? And so many people in all of my communities, but I did see a lot of people in the Kratom community said, I would love to do that, because so many people know it would be helpful for them to be getting comfortable on camera, because our voices are so powerful, but it's always the most powerful when we do something like this. So like the videos I put out on social, the ones y'all do that are doing it, Dan and Sarah, y'all doing a phenomenal job with your videos, is so important. So I'm actually relaunching this program, and I just opened the doors. I set up a new school community for it. So I just want to play a short little video about it, because if anybody wants to start getting more comfortable being able to grab your phone and just make a short little video, I have a way to help with that. And especially when you're doing it in a small group with other people and it's private, it makes it, a lot easier to do. So let me show y'all this quick little video about it. If you're looking to stand out on camera and stop being so shy, I'm going to show you how to get confidence, and we're going to do it in just 5 days. Hey, I'm Madeline Sklar, and I am opening the doors to Video Like a Rock Star. It's a program I used to teach years ago, and I'm opening up again now. It's a place to get you comfortable on camera so you can make videos like this anywhere, anytime. Just head over to school, SKOOL.com, go to school.com and look for Video Like a Rock Star. I also have the link below. Doors are open, and I want you to come hang out there with me. It's free to join. We're going to do a 5-day video challenge together. It's going to be awesome. That's my cute dog. Lucy might make an appearance. Lucy, do you want to come join the live stream and come hang out with me and get comfortable on camera? Or do you just want to walk? I think she just wants to walk. Lucy, say hi. Say hi. Stop speeding up. Say hi. So I when I was making these videos during my my little self-imposed 30-day video challenge back in January, I started it January 1st, and I made myself make these little videos like that to put on social media every day, and I made myself do it while I was out walking for most of them while I was out walking my dog, because I'm like, okay, my thing was just to be more consistent with it, like a short little video every day. And I'm like, well, the best way for me to do this consistently is like, well, I'm out walking her in the morning, let me just make a video with my phone. And so a couple of times I put her on at the end like that, and people loved it. People were like, your dog is so cute. So I just got in that habit of doing that regularly, because you listen and pay attention to what, when it comes to video marketing, pay attention to how people respond to what you're doing, and they'll help guide you on some of your content you put out. So plus that was a way for y'all to see my cute pup. But yeah, if anybody wants to sign up, what I'm doing is I'll be hosting a 5-day video challenge starting on Monday, April 20th. So a week from this Monday. And this is not a Kratom community thing. This is for just my regular work stuff. And this is the kind of thing that I've always done. It's just, like I said, I don't always have my work stuff collide with the Kratom advocacy work I do. But so many people in our community, when I was doing my 30-day video challenge, reached out and said, I would be very interested in doing something like that, because I want to get more comfortable on camera. So you can either go to school.com and go look up Video Like a Rock Star, or that's the shortcut link right there, bit.ly, bit.ly/VLAR, which stands for Video Like a Rock Star 5-day. And that'll take you right over there. But this is for anybody. It's free to do. Anybody that's interested, I wanted to bring it up here because I know so many people want to do something like this and get comfortable. And when I've taught this program in the past, a lot of people got a lot of help out of it, and it helped them get way more comfortable on camera. So I didn't want to take up too much time with this because we have so much to look at and talk about. But before we really dive into the first news story, Dan and Sarah, tell everybody what y'all going to be doing this afternoon after right after y'all leave here, like why y'all have to leave in a little while. Where are y'all going?
We're going to get semi-matching, or at least complementary Kratom tattoos.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's so cool. I'm so excited.
To do it for a while. We finally made the appointment a couple months ago, and so today's the day, finally. So
that's awesome. I've been wanting to get a leaf right here for the longest time, and I just haven't been able to spend money extra on, tattoos, but I need a little link therapy. I can't wait to see them. I cannot wait.
Yeah, we've been wanting them for a couple of years, and then finally we're like, we'll just do it.
We did it last year for our wedding anniversary. We got matching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tattoos. It's another huge part of our life. And so we did that.
So every anniversary, our present to each other is a tattoo.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I love that.
So
is it a leaf or the element or the molecules, or do you want to wait to share it? I mean, of course I can't wait. I'm sure you will, but I can't wait. I'm just excited. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, mine is mainly like the leaf, and it's gonna be
nice
leaves like down my arm, the way they're just the regular Kratom leaf. His is a little bit more complex. So
nice. I'm doing the MitraSpec logo because it's really important. As you know, a business that I started literally with $30 over a decade ago and grew to what it is today. It's it's something that, I want to make sure that I have with me forever, no matter what. And so that's part of it. And it's going to be surrounded, kind of with leaves and some like roots to kind of symbolize, the growth, cycle, my own growth cycle, the business's growth and the growth of the plant. So it ties everything in together.
I can't wait to see.
Me too. Yeah.
Well,
fantastic.
So after hearing about y'all doing that inspired me to go, because I have a kratom tattoo, and it inspired me to go. I knew I had a video of this from when I had it done. So I'm going to play it for you. It's very short. And there's no music because when I originally put it up on TikTok, it was either TikTok or YouTube. Somebody took it, one of them took it down because of the music I had playing in the background. So I stripped out the music, but I want y'all to see, like, this is, I used to always go get a tattoo on my birthday. It was kind of just this thing I used to do. I did it for, oh my God, I did it for like 15 years, like on my birthday. And my tattoo,
awesome.
And I'd become really good friends with her. So like she would always save the date. You could always, but I don't have any more room on my arms. So I made room for the kratom tattoo. So let me show y'all, because this is a fun tattoo. It's just weird because there's no sound, but this is me. See, I mean, I'm like, where am I going to put this? So I found a nice spot on my wrist, and there's this. It's just the Kratom Stories podcast logo. It's real simple. That's all I had room for. It's just something small. So, she's doing her thing. It didn't take long at all. Normally I'd be in that chair for a long time getting tattoos, and it's like, this was so cool. And that's the last one. I haven't been back since, because I'm like, she's like, you want to do your legs next? I'm like, no, I'm done. Like, this is enough. I mean, I got a few shoulder ones and back and ankle, but it's like, no, I'm done. I wish I had room for something a lot bigger. That would be so cool. But that's my kratom tattoo that I have. So there you go.
Nice.
So I'm excited to see y'all. So y'all be sure to, I'm sure you're going to have like videos and pictures and stuff on there.
Yeah, we will.
For sure.
Yeah, we're both like planning to do kind of, we plan to get sleeves on our arms. So we have a lot of open real estate right now, but so we're kind of excited about that.
Yeah, that's just, when y'all mentioned that, I was watching your videos. I'm like, oh my God, they're getting a kratom tattoo. How exciting. I'm going to play some news stories because there were some interesting ones this week. We heard about how Idaho, the state of Idaho was trying to go for a ban, right? And it didn't work. So recently that whole thing just, is done. But the city of Kellogg, Idaho, now is going at the city level. So there's a short news story out about this. Have y'all been hearing about this? Like, it seems like sometimes when they try to go ban it in a state and it doesn't happen, then they just go by city, like city by city.
Yeah.
Sadly. So let me play this short video.
And I think
the
Kellogg City Council voted in Massachusetts, right?
What's that?
Yeah, that's what they started doing in Massachusetts.
And Illinois.
Originally, it was Massachusetts as a whole, and then it didn't happen. And then there was somebody out there, that's just hell-bent on getting everywhere banned. So I think there's like 4 places in Mass right now that's banned.
Yeah, and we're probably going to see this happening in Idaho now. But this one is the city of Kellogg.
The Kellogg City Council voted unanimously earlier this week to approve a resolution banning the sale of kratom within city limits. The new resolution prohibits new retailers from selling the substance and gives existing retailers until May 8th to remove kratom products from their shelves. At least 3 businesses in Kellogg sell kratom right now, and the product is also sold in Pinehurst and Wallace. This makes Kellogg the first city in Idaho to enact such a ban, but now several neighboring cities are considering similar action.
Man, so there you go. And then the neighboring towns are considering similar action. So that's scary. It's like, okay, we're not able to get at the state level, so let's just go at these cities and towns.
Yeah, it is scary because if they start banning it per city for sales, but like I know out here it was, they are not allowing the sales in certain places, but you can have the possession. They just don't want their area to be the one that's selling it. But if it's a domino effect, as every single town starts banning sales, you're not going to be able to sell it anywhere versus online, nothing. You're not going to be able to get it anywhere.
Right. Well, in that city of Kellogg, they have three places where they sell it. So sounds like it's a huge problem, huh? It's just, in a few places. I mean, if Kratom was such a problem, where are all the deaths?
Why
don't we hear about it all where it's originated from? It's not. Why are they living great long lives? Like, why are they way healthier than a lot of us? And they have a lot less than what we do, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's, again, the fear mongering, the false news that's being spread, and, not taking the tons and thousands, billions consumers that there is as, hi, we're all the science. I would gladly donate my time and information to be studied for, here, Kratom, whatever, 7-OH, whatever, good, study it, get it done, because, I don't know what they're waiting for at this point, because it's just frustrating. It's frustrating.
Well, wait till you'll see this next news story out of Arizona referring to this as designer drugs. So if y'all haven't seen this one, it's very interesting to see this person they profile. So let's watch this one together.
Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kariba Devine. New tonight, Chandler police arrested a man for DUI, even though he had no alcohol in his system. Instead, police say that he was impaired from what they call designer drugs.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with a biochemical engineer about this. And Chase, this product is perfectly legal.
Mark Kriebe, don't let that designer name fool you. You can buy these products at gas stations, convenience stores, or smoke shops, but experts say that doesn't mean they're safe. This video taken by Chandler police shows a man in their custody who had trouble walking in a straight line. But it wasn't booze or weed that caused this. The man told police he had taken Kratom he bought from a smoke shop.
All right, we got to stop for a moment on that one. Really? Kratom made him not be able to walk a straight line? Seriously?
Does he have physical capabilities that keep him from walking in a straight line? Because
but they said
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can be. I don't drink alcohol. I don't consume drugs. I cannot walk a straight line because of my physical issues. So that's now, I'd like to know, does he have physical issues? Yeah,
they said, he said all he took was Kratom. It's like, oh, okay. Sure. Let's just take what he said at face value. Okay.
And then video it inside of a jail. Like, come on.
Because that's not Kratom that does that. We all know that. It's like, well, what else did he take? Or what exactly did he take? Was it Kratom extracts? And maybe he drank 5 little bottles of Kratom extracts?
Who's to say it's even a person that really took any Kratom, and it's not somebody paid to do a quick little article on a pair of pajamas and walk a line and say, I took Kratom.
Right.
Especially when you're capturing it to put it out on the news.
Just the
views and clicks. Views and clicks. All about the views and clicks. Even though
we already know they're already paying people to go sit there and talk bad about 7 or Kratom. I mean, it's been out. It's been out at the. It's out there. We've seen it. It's been. Yeah, we've done it. Yeah, that was us. We paid people.
Exactly. Well, let's finish watching this news. It's just when they showed him walking that line, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right?
He had taken Kratom he bought from a smoke shop, one of several designer drugs that are out there.
These designer drugs are actually substances that are chemically altered or modified versions of existing drugs.
Moshe Williams is a biochemical engineer out of the East Valley who researches Schedule I substances. He says Kratom acts like an opioid. Bath salts, magic mushroom chocolate bars, and spice are all considered designer drugs, where they have similar effects to the actual illegal drugs, but are legal, which is why they can be sold at gas stations, convenience stores, or smoke shops.
Chemists slightly alter these molecules of a known compound, often a controlled substance, to create a new version that gives you a similar effect. And because it's been slightly altered, it's not yet listed under the controlled substance law.
For Kratom in Arizona, there are restrictions, like you have to be 18 years or older to buy, and certain compounds aren't allowed. While some are advertised as being natural, Williams says they aren't regulated.
There's hardly any research typically on any of these drugs, so we don't know how they're going to respond. They're unpredictable.
At times, causing serious problems.
There's been people that have been blinded. There's been obviously death and psychosis. And so these aren't drugs that you per se want to just go into a smoke shop and buy.
However, Williams did say some research
shows Kratom has helped with people suffering from opioid withdrawals. Still, it can be abused. Chandler Police saying if you do plan on taking these designer drugs, to not get behind the wheel. Otherwise, you may end up behind bars.
Wow.
Oh,
What he's talking about is research chemicals,
It's
not
threatening
Kratom.
too.
100%. So now the new buzzword, I guess, is going to be designer drugs.
Right.
But like I said, what he's talking about is
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead, Rob.
what he's talking about is research chemicals.
Yes.
Kratom, when it's sold as pure leaf natural kratom, is not altered or impacted in any way, shape, or form. He's talking about chemicals. He's talking about alteration. That is research chemicals. Get your facts straight before you speak.
100%.
I think that particular, if we want to call him journalist who was doing the story, knew that the chemist was talking about designer drugs. He just also had him talk about kratom, and then it looks to me like they just put it together. So it looked like as he was explaining this, he's talking about kratom as well, when he was clearly talking about a broad category, like you said, not including kratom. I mean, even the 7-OH that is on the market, it's not chemically altered. It's just been extracted. I mean, mitragynine goes through a process to become 7-OH, but it occurs naturally in the plant as 7-OH. It's still a naturally occurring substance. It's not chemically altered. It's not an analog that somebody created to avoid it being a Schedule 1, which is the other thing that he pointed out. They never say, oh, because kratom's a Schedule 1, it's being done this way. It's poor journalism at best, and at worst, it's intentionally structured so they can scare people more.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Exactly. But to show that kid trying to walk the line, that's like propaganda video, right?
That might actually be an improvement. I mean, you're just seeing somebody walk a line, and according to the story, all he took was kratom, but that doesn't mean that he can't even stand up if he isn't taking kratom.
That's right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he might literally not be able to stand without the kratom. And yeah, and so this is actually enabling him to be able to walk. And they're like, oh, look at how bad he's walking. But who knows if he can even walk when he's not taking it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He could have a
And
disability.
Arizona has a KCPA. So if somebody's getting products that are not proper, then you guys need to be doing a better job of enforcing your already existing laws.
Absolutely.
Do you see how they keep going? And it's being sold at the gas station. It's being sold at the gas station. Mm-hmm. You know what and it's like, I don't want to bite my own tongue here, like cause drama, but it's like, are they going after vendors? Are they saying this reputable vendor who's doing all the lab testing, who's GMP compliant, is selling 7-0? They're not saying it. Apparently it's the gas station. It keeps going back to these gas stations and these smoke shops. If that's the problem, then it's, why are you allowing certain things sold at gas stations and smoke shops? Get them out of certain places, put them into people's hands, like vendors who are doing it the right way, who are following the proper guidelines. Again, us vendors, us community is what held our community to a certain level of responsibility. So we knew we were all safe. I mean, they're not saying this on the news. Hi, the kratom community started making vendors test their kratom so they knew that they were taking safe product. They're not saying that,
they make it look like it's just a gas station problem and a gas station drug, and they don't ever mention the real companies out there, the small businesses, the companies that do it the right way ever. They're
doing it the right way. They have a lot of loss on money on product because you're not getting. You've got kratom that tested. How much have you guys thrown away over the years? Nope, that's not good. We're not going to do it. And you're out that money. I know my boss has thrown out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of product. Even 7-0. No, sorry. That doesn't pass the test. We do 2 different labs. It don't pass. It's not coming out. That's not, it doesn't fly. So it's like, yeah. I mean, I had one great news kind of, they wrote a story out here about a couple of, people against Kratom, a couple people for Kratom. They, added my friend who owns a Kratom kava bar. Well, it's now just a kava bar because they stopped making him allow Kratom there, which it's still legal here, but we're not allowed to have kava, or we can't have Kratom in kava bars anymore out here. And my friend can't open their Kratom kava bar in Manchester because of this, which it's still legal, but now they're saying you can't serve Kratom.
Wow.
Yep.
This is why advocacy is so important, and why it's important for everybody to be speaking out. Our voices matter. I'm going to play just a very short clip. We've already watched here recently the Michigan House of Representatives boasting them, trying to ban Kratom, and this video, it's just a short 1-minute video, but this is from the Michigan House Republicans' official YouTube channel. And this, I just want y'all to see what they're putting out. This came out this week.
We, the House, took a major step in protecting our communities and our children. We passed House Bill 5537, banning the production and the sale of Kratom in Michigan. Kratom is unregulated, a psychoactive substance that possesses serious risks to public health. A majority of this coming from China, which, by the way, it's illegal there. Too many people are being exposed to a product whose safety, purity, and long-term effects have not been adequately studied or controlled. We should not wait for more deaths before we act. This legislation helps keep dangerous, unregulated substances out of our communities and protect vulnerable individuals and families from the consequences of unchecked access. I'm Representative Jason Wolford, fighting for you from the...
Okay, pop quiz.
Oh, that man.
Where does natural leaf Kratom powder that they showed in that video, where does that come from?
Indonesia, Thailand,
Malaysia,
Southeast Asia.
So he's representing his constituents well, because that powder you just saw in that propaganda video comes from China and is banned there. Oh my God, what the amount of misinformation and propaganda is unreal. It is absolutely
and yet they aren't attacking the fentanyl that does come from China.
I was just about ready to say, and what does come from China? Fentanyl,
and that's because
xylazine,
story. It's like
carfentanil.
The new chase of the story. This is just the new topic they're running with.
Right.
It was fentanyl.
Well, now it's designer drugs, and they come from China.
And there's a new one out there now. I was just told it the other day because I'm picking up harm reduction supplies again for the harm reduction that I'm doing for an event coming up. And I'll have to ask her again, but there's another new drug that is out there now that's apparently, and when she was like, it's 10 times strong, 10 times stronger than, pain meds, and like 50 times stronger than morphine. And I'm waiting for her to drop the ball. And it was, and I'm like, oh God, I'm like, well, let me educate you really quick. No, I didn't have to educate her on nothing. It's a whole nother drug.
Wow.
Whole nother drug. It is all chemicals. All chemicals.
Yep. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it does not respond to Narcan.
Correct.
Oh,
correct.
Right.
Correct.
Wow.
It does not respond to Narcan. Probably. No, it's not the xylazine, because I know that one's a fairly new one that I just found out about in January. So it's not xylazine. I'll have to ask her when I go there Monday to pick up the supplies, because it's scary, because it doesn't respond to Narcan. So now I need to know what I need to do if it's not, because I'm CPR certified. I'm also certified in Dance Safe with Narcan training as well. So if I can't help someone with the Narcan, now what do I need to do? What do I need to look for? And that's scary. This is what we see out here on our streets. You guys know what Manchester's like, what Nash was like. I mean, if anybody has ever seen the movie, the video, Michael Jackson's Thriller movie, and people are walking around like that and leaning over, that's what people look like these days. Wow. That's what fentanyl and all these other drugs are that people are on these days look like. And it's really, really sad to see.
Scary. Yeah, terrible. So is this new one like going to be in stores, or is it on the streets? Have you heard like where exactly?
I've heard as of right now, streets. So definitely not stores. I mean, it's not like, how they're, getting 7-0 at the gas stations, but no, right now it's the streets. It's the streets. It's a new drug, because, xylazine and fentanyl apparently ain't doing it quick enough.
They should focus attention on that stuff, the street drugs that are killing people every day. The thing that drives me nuts is the media does not talk about fentanyl in the streets anymore. Did fentanyl stop killing people? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of data. It's just not being pushed out to the media. How many people are still dying from fentanyl every single day? How many people die from Tylenol deaths every single day? I love your video on that, Dan, that you've done, talking about all that stuff, because it's so true, but it's always, what does the media put out?
Right. Yep.
And we've been in this cycle of Kratom and 7-OH in the media for so long now. They won't talk about anything else.
I mean, it's just kind of, you put 2 and 2 together. It's just a little ironic that they start studying MIT and 7-OH, and now all of a sudden it's all over the media, and it's so bad, but yet they're taking 2 of the main alkaloids from Kratom and they're going to turn it into a pharmaceutical for what? Opioid help and chronic pain. So, but yet here I am thinking about it, and I'm getting, I'm deemed not a good person here in this community because I support a certain extract.
Prisons also make money too.
Yep.
The Orphines, it could be the Orphines. I can't remember the full name of it, but I know that I had shared a bunch of stuff a couple weeks ago on X about it. They just shorten it to Orphines so that
Christopher posted it.
Me. Oh,
so,
okay.
He just posted the name of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and
that sounds it.
I mean, Angela says that it's the same way in downtown Seattle. They smoke fentanyl and foil, half bent over.
It's everywhere.
So what's being
my
done
baby
about
brother
that?
and my cousin are out on the streets of California right now, and they're battling the addiction. They're battling the addiction, and they know that the Kratom works. They know that the 7-0 works for me. They see me living my life free from pharmaceuticals. They see me, but no, they're out on the streets of California, unfortunately, and I'm sadly just waiting for that call.
Yeah, but Christopher's been he has the information in the banner here that I'm showing y'all. These are the designer drugs. This is the problem. Get this off the streets instead of focusing all this misguided news stories about natural Kratom. Oh my gosh.
I think because they know they're losing the war on drugs.
Yeah.
And they can't fight the fentanyl. They can't fight the cycloropine, they can't fight those successfully. So instead, let's go with low-hanging fruit and attack Kratom, because we can show that we're actually succeeding at stopping the war on stopping drugs from hitting our streets.
But do they want to stop the war on drugs, or do they want to keep it going? Because keeping the war on drugs means people into their facilities, people taking their pharmaceuticals that they keep saying. And it frustrates me being at these hearings. They're like, you can take pharmaceuticals, you can take Suboxone. Hi, I've taken them all. Hi, I'm pharmaceutical resistant. That means they don't work for me. So I am either going to suffer in extreme pain, or I'm going to find something else that works that's not inebriating me and leaving me bedridden for days on end, So it's super frustrating when they're like, oh, just take this, just take a pharmaceutical, versus listening. Hi, it doesn't work. This is, 30 years of pharmaceuticals, and I'm tired. I got to a really comfortable point for a little bit with Kratom, and I was comfortable in my life. And now I'm not, because I have to fight to stay comfortable, to continue to live my life versus existing.
And you have every right to.
Yeah.
Like today I'm having a bad pain day. The weather has just been so crazy, back and forth. And it's this time of year when it does this, it'll usually affect me. And so I've just been having a lot of extra pains that Kratom doesn't help with, my natural Kratom. So, when you're suffering, it's like, do I want to utilize other things that could be helpful? And I'm not saying I am or have, but I'm just saying I'm an adult and I have the right. I didn't put it on the market. I didn't put these products on the market. So it's like, if there are issues with products on the market, go after the companies, go after the people selling it, go after the state regulators that aren't doing their job, go after those legislators. It's like there's so much misdirected noise out here, and it really needs to stop. Becca's here. Hey, Becca. We got a full house today.
Good to see you guys.
We got a full house. We got Dan and Sarah hanging out with us today because they spoke in New Hampshire. We're getting ready. Actually, it's perfect timing. We're getting ready to watch all that. So
Awesome. I can't wait. And thank you guys for doing that. That's awesome.
You know, we're happy that we were able to actually go and be there. So it worked out really well.
yeah, I'm so glad
I
we're
love
able to do
hearing you
that.
guys.
That is so great. Well, so yeah, we're going to watch y'all's testimony, but to set the stage, I'm going to first play a video of Sarah and Dan on their way to go speak.
And this is our first time ever getting to speak publicly.
Hold on, let me get it from the beginning. TikTok's weird with how you set.
So Dan and I are on our way to the State House in New Hampshire right now, and this is our first time ever getting to speak publicly. It usually doesn't work out that we can, but I don't believe this is by accident and that we are supposed to speak today, and we're really excited about this, and we're going to share how the plant has helped us, and we know that it's helped so many other people. So we're here to speak our truth.
I love that. I love that y'all document this. You know, I hope other people are watching these videos going, gosh, this gives me ideas too. If I go speak at anything, a local hearing, to the state, wherever, like, document it. Y'all did such a great job doing before and after videos.
And to show people, you know, we're shy as well. And it took us a while to get better with making videos and whatnot. And it's important to show up and do things like that. You get used to it after a little while, and it's not as bad the more you do it.
I love when I see different like vendors and stuff doing that. Amanda Schumacher with Heavenly House Herbs in Texas, she did it too. Yeah. Like her and her husband. And like me, I get chills watching you guys, like, because I know the feeling of how nervous I was. But then I know, and this was like, and this is when I met Becca and Veronica. Like, I was scared out of my mind. I was so nervous. And I mean, even now, like, I feel like my voice is just the whole time, and it's not. But after doing that, it felt invigorating. It felt so rewarding to know that, you know what, I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing up for what I believe in, and I'm standing up for people who can't quite get here to stand up for themselves, you know, and I'm grateful for every single one of us that continue to fight. So thank you guys for going. Really, thank you guys for putting it out on your platforms and being loud advocates, because, you know, we need you guys, and we appreciate it.
There was another husband and wife company, small Kratom company from New Hampshire there too. So you get to meet people too, which is kind of cool too. So we became friends with just being there together. But
honestly, the coolest thing, meeting people in the Kratom community. It's like we're meeting celebrities. Like, oh my God, I met so-and-so from this. You know, I mean, that's how I felt when I met Becca and Veronica. I was like, oh my God. And because I was just very new to Kratom then. I was like, oh my God, I met Becca and V, and this was cool. And it was pretty cool. You know, now it's like meeting a lot of people. It's like, you're putting our community together, you know, and it's fantastic. I love it.
The thing that I noticed that I was kind of surprised at, like, I always looked at it or thought about it like the people who go to those things, they're people who go to those kinds of things all the time. But what I saw was not just at our hearing, but all of the different hearings that were taking place. There was like 8 different hearings going on at the same time in that building. And all the people who were there were people who, that's not what they do. It's just they had, you know, they had to go to speak up about something that was going to impact their lives. And I think for me to, like, you know, realize that this is how our government works. And the people who are going to these meetings, the people who are watching these meetings, are people who care about how the country's being run, what laws are being made, and how they're being enforced and everything. And so, like, if there's somebody out there that is thinking about going and hasn't because they're nervous that, you know, they're not going to understand how the process works, there was a smiling person at the desk when we walked in who guided us to the right room. When we got there, you know, it was quiet. There was people seated in the hallway waiting for the next, you know, meeting to start. We sat down, and then at, you know, a few minutes before it was about to start, we walked in, signed a paper, and that was it. And then we just sat there and we waited. We listened to everybody talk. But it's not like you have to be a lawyer or a politician to go into these meetings and understand how they work. It is made for us. I mean, that is the way the government's supposed supposed to work, at least, you know, the ability to go in and just sit down and talk, listen, and say your piece.
And it's really nice to hear all the stories from different people. And it was good because a lot of people did show up and share that, which is important. So they saw how much it matters and how it helps people.
Yeah, I know when I went to the first one up in Concord, before this last one, I actually got to talk to, you know, the GKC, and, you know, they asked me, how does 7 help you? The fact that they asked and they cared to listen, and they were like, oh, okay, well, I have a little bit different outlook on it, because they talked to somebody who is a consumer who uses it responsibly. I haven't taken 7-OH in, I don't know, a little over a week now. I've been okay. My pain it's been normal, but, you know, we're starting to get warm days here in New Hampshire. So I'm just hoping it kind of evens out, because the last couple of weeks here were a little bit up and down.
But you know what's interesting?
Dan and Sarah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Madeline.
Well, when you mentioned the GKC and being open-minded, it's so interesting that most of the loudest voices are very open and receptive to hearing people's real experience and how things are helping them, good, bad, and ugly, and not being judgy. But it's just the very few that are the judgy and let's take a different stance that most people are not taking. Most people are educating themselves and learning. Is the difference between, you know,
Textbook education and real.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, but that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that with GKC. Go ahead, Robin.
Dan and Sarah, something you guys said that I think more people need to realize. People continually hear me say, we as advocates need to get busy. We need to get up off our butts. We need to get active. And that's not an insult to anyone. That's saying we, the people, have the power if we simply get involved. So instead of sitting back and waiting for the Dan and Sarah, the Amanda, the Beccas, the Madelines, the Venuses, instead of sitting back waiting for them or for GKC or AKA to step up and fight, get out there and get busy, because we, the people, can stop this if we just stand up and speak.
We, the
and if you don't know how, ask
in 2016
someone.
and 17. We, the people, did that.
Yeah, but you
and
know
we
what?
don't have that amount of people right now. We need the numbers like we had back then.
Right, but every time you've brought this up, Robin, since February 14th,
I get in trouble.
Every time you brought it up since February 14th, if people actually that those of y'all that are here that watch all this, or if you go watch the replay, you are talking about the people that are either don't realize they could be doing this, or the people that are just being so complicit, like everybody else is doing the advocating, I don't have to. You're not speaking to the people that are working really hard advocating. And I just want to make sure that's really clear to people that are hearing things.
Thank God for the people that, thank God for the people that are continuing to advocate.
Absolutely.
But we need more of you. There's supposed to be 24 million consumers of Kratom in the United States. Give me 1% of those standing up in these hearings. Just 1%.
Yeah.
We'd have this fight won.
Yeah.
And the more people
we're not
that
seeing
show
those
up, and the more
numbers.
people seeing more people show up will help too. Say, okay,
Yeah.
there's, a big group coming and everyone is friendly, you know what I mean? So they're not alone. There's always
like reach
people
out
there.
to one of us. If you're coming, if you know we're going to a hearing, reach out. Like if I can't personally attend the same hearing that you're hearing, I know someone that's going to be there, and they will be very happy to sit next to you, to talk with you, to just give a little comfort, because it is a little intimidating.
To help you write an email or make a phone call.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. BAE is fantastic on helping, get your PDF set up, because that's the way they're taking them now, as a PDF for your testimony. And BAE has been fantastic helping out with that one.
Yeah, y'all are doing a great job with that.
That's the other thing, is not everyone can always attend a hearing in person. But you know what you can do? You can make a phone call, or you can send an email, or you can tell your neighbor about Kratom. All of those things are advocating. Of course, the more people that show up at the hearings, the better. But everything you can do to spread the benefit and the positive and the real information about Kratom, the more you're advocating. And people don't even realize that is part of it. You don't have to be there in person. A lot of people can't for whatever reasons. And that's okay. Don't give yourself a hard time about it if you can't be there. But you can make a phone call. You can tell your neighbors. You can
Send
walk
in a
into your
video
local smoke
testimony.
shop.
Do what
You can do a video testimony and send it just as you're sending a regular email. You attach it with a file. You can send in. If you can't make it in person, you know, it's like, here I am just sitting here talking like this. I can take it my phone, do a 2-minute video and be done with it. Send it in, and it's your face is being heard, and they will put that into, you know, the bill. For
if you're not the kind
and-
of person that wants to go and be heard in person, or even if you're not comfortable on camera, if you have the knowledge that you can share with other people, I think there's a lot of people who want to be advocates, but they don't feel like they have enough information to answer questions. So there's nothing wrong with organizing a group of people, and even if you don't, you know, if you're not comfortable going into the room with them or being on camera with them, but just helping teach them everything that you know about Kratom, then those people can go out and make videos. I mean, there's so many different ways to get involved and to help the cause without necessarily having to be on camera or be out there in public. But you do need those people. There has to be enough people being seen at the meetings. So, you know, whatever works for the individual, just say, what are my strengths? What can I contribute to this? And then figure out a way to amplify that through others.
I remember when we went, Becca, our first meeting up in Concord, we had people overflowing out into the hallways, and those were all for Kratom. All for Kratom. Now we are lucky if we get 10 people there that are there for Kratom, and I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful because it's usually the same people that come every time, but I'm grateful that they come because, you know, they'll leave work to come because they know how important it is. You know, I beat myself up because I couldn't go to this one, and that I'm still beating myself up. Going to take myself a little bit of mental health therapy after this one and go down to the beach, go down to the beach and just kind of zen out because
that's part of the reason I said, that's part of the reason I said what I said is we can't always be at a hearing, but we can do something to help contribute. And that's when I'm saying get off your butts, that's what I'm meaning, guys. Come on. I know what the power of this community can do. I lived it.
Yep. You sure have.
We did this, and we can do it. Come on. We're the only ones that ever stopped the DEA and FDA in their tracks. It's never been done before or since.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And yet we're letting states beat us. No. Get up and fight. And if you can't fight yourself, encourage others around you to fight.
Yeah.
If you have anxiety, reach out to somebody that you know that doesn't have anxiety and say, hey, help me write an email. Hey, make a phone call for me. Use my name.
ChatGPT is helpful too. AI can help you write an email and help you personalize. Like, you know, it's real helpful. Like when you just get all the ban bill information and what's going on, and have it help you. Because actually, if you can personalize it even more, it helps.
Yeah, we have templates on the website. Go use one. Grab it and change it. Do what you want with it. I know we can win these fights. We just have to come together, stop the division, stop the infighting, come together and fight for Kratom, because we can do this.
Absolutely. And so
I'm not going down. Period. I'm not going to become a felon.
Yeah. And your organization is Botanical Advocacy and Education. I got the link on here. They have so much information. Anybody here that's not familiar with Robin's work, go to botanicalae.org. They've, I mean, real briefly, and we'll get back to the videos. For those that don't know the actual history of AKA before it became like, you know, what it is today, tell everybody just briefly about that, because you were involved.
The AKA was started to be formed in 2014. Final formation was 2015 by Susan Ash. She brought on Paul Kemp, Will Robin, Angela Ross, and myself. We were the original board members. And we started the advocacy with the Kratom community. Started spreading the word that Kratom is a good thing, because we used to face the same exact mentality and attack from the news that 7-0 and extracts are facing now. I can remember having family come to me and tell me, if you don't stop taking that crap, we're going to fight with you. Then fight. And we, through amazing advocacy, amazing advocates, we put together a hell of a fighting force. And in 2016, we stopped the DEA and FDA in their tracks because they were trying to ban kratom nationally, to never be used or seen again on the shores of the North American continent. And we stopped it. But it was because of the people coming together to fight. And that's why I say, I know we can do this. Even these individual states, I know we can beat them. We just have to come together and fight.
Well said. Well, thank you for being
25,000 went to Washington in 2016. I think that's the number that I remember was around 120, 130,000 people.
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And yeah, Angela and I sat back and made sure that those folks got to go, because a lot of people, there wasn't the money. So we hit up vendors and said, okay, how much are you donating to this? And people would let us know, okay, I need money for gas to get there, but I'm taking 7 people with me. Okay, here you go.
It was because
and
of
it was
that I got to go in my group from Michigan. I just want to say that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep,
that's awesome.
I remember seeing that. I mean, I didn't get to go, but Brandon and Josh, who worked for us at Wonderland at the time, they both went. And you know, that picture, Brandon still, like, we still have that picture. It's on one of our website, you know, one of the pages on the website. It's our favorite picture, you know, with the group photo of everybody up there. That it's got chills. That every time I think about that photo, literally it kind of chokes me up. It was an amazing moment by so many advocates. And Robin, that's what you mean by we need to get everybody out there again. We need the numbers showing up.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that takes all of us. That takes the vendors. Thank God we have so many good vendors. But that takes all the vendors using all of their customer base emails, sending out information, getting people involved in the fight. That takes all of us talking to our friends and neighbors, talking to our local politicians, talking to our local legislators, our local city and county councils. All of this, because as you said, with Idaho couldn't do it as a state yet. I don't think the fight's over there, sadly. But now the cities and counties are looking to do it. Massachusetts is doing the same thing. We sadly said this was a strong possibility many years ago.
Yeah.
Because the education has to continue. Dan and Sarah, you guys said it perfectly. To sit in a room where they're making a law and have them say, we don't even know what this is, that's just wrong on every level.
Well, you know, it makes you wonder, the people whose job is to be getting the legislators the information, why are these legislators not having the information? Because it's not just in New Hampshire. We have advocates. One of our regulars, I haven't seen her in the chat today, but Deborah, she's been going to all the Tennessee ones. She said they've walked around and talked to all of these reps. They don't know what this is, and they don't know there's a difference between natural kratom and 7-OH. They are not being educated. So more education needs to happen. And you know, I thought the lobbyist job, I've learned a lot over the years being, you know, involved in kratom advocacy, but I always thought the lobbyist is talking to legislators around the country, especially when kratom is under attack, to be educating them. But to keep hearing time after time from consumers that are actually talking to legislators in multiple states, and they're like, these people don't know what this is. That's scary.
Right.
And this is not me attacking anybody. It's not me attacking anybody. Although I'm sure it'll be taken away. But it's like, there's got to be more education. Is there more we can do? What can we be doing to educate more? It shouldn't be, it's under attack. And me as a consumer advocate talking to my reps, and they don't even know what this is, but it's under attack at the moment and about to be banned. but they don't even know what this
They're
is.
we used to have packets that you could get and take to your local legislators. I don't know what happened to those, but it's something that we need to bring back. So that all somebody has to do is print up a packet and take it in.
That is happening on the other side. So the people who were there, I mean, there was groups of people, it seemed like, with this particular bill, because SB 557 focuses exclusively on synthetic and semi-synthetic kratom. They use the word kratom, which I disagree with, but I guess I can see, because that's how the products are being marketed. Like, they have to kind of have it in there. But the bill specifically targets synthetic and semi-synthetic kratom and kratom alkaloids. And so there was people there who were supporting and opposing the bill for completely different reasons. So there was people who were in opposition to the bill because it didn't go far enough. There was people who were in opposition to the bill because it went too far. There were people who supported the bill because it had, a decent balance, or, protected natural kratom. So there was like a lot of different opinions on both sides of the argument for this particular bill. I feel like, in a lot of places, it's a little bit more cut and dry what the language of the bill, is. But the idea that you have a bunch of people who are voting on a law and none of them could pass a high school freshman level test on the subject, that's absolutely mind blowing to me. I mean, if I was a politician, that was my job, I would feel like I would have to recuse myself from the vote unless I felt like I at least knew the basics on both sides of the argument. Not, okay, I really understand this one side really well. That side's a bunch of, drug addicts, so I'm not even going to listen to them, and I'm going to go cast my vote, whatever. I felt like at least our representatives did seem like they were genuinely interested in learning about it before they voted on it. It did seem like they were all really actively paying attention to what was being said, and they had legitimate questions. So I thought that was good, but
yeah.
Well, and it's because of actions by you guys that are there.
Yes.
That they're starting to pay attention. I mean, another example is California when they did that hearing, and they had people sitting up on the dais saying, I'm glad this isn't a vote measure because I know less now than I knew coming into it. Coming in, everybody told me, oh, go in and listen, but this is bad stuff. Now I'm realizing I didn't know anything, and I still don't know anything. So I'm glad I'm not voting on anything today. That's terrifying to hear, because if that had been a vote,
they would have just done the easy thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And which is scary, because this is our lives,
right?
And it's scary what you was we're going to watch Tennessee a little later too, and is sitting on the governor's desk, and then Kansas was at the governor's desk, and the governor signed it yesterday, I think, right?
Yes,
yesterday
morning.
Plants being banned and turning people into criminals is crazy. That's why it's important to be informed and educated and help speak out. I want to play in New Hampshire because while we have Dan and Sarah here with us, we don't have time to watch a lot of it, but I'm definitely going to play both of y'all's testimony, and they gave y'all 3 minutes, which is great. Everybody got 3 minutes, but I have to play. And thank you to Venus, because Venus got me the clips, and boy, Venus pointed out this one clip was pretty outrageous. So I got to start with this outrageous one that was before Dan and Sarah spoke, from Senator Abbott is the name. So let's watch this short clip.
Publicly accessible of all the people who die and overdose from fentanyl in the state of New Hampshire. And you just said we don't have anything like that for this drug. So my question to you is, rather than going straight to something with all the implications of the severity of these criminal penalties, does it maybe make more sense to go through the type of strict regulatory framework that the original bill suggested, or the bill that was actually amended in the Senate before it was amended on the floor?
No, it does not, because this like a heroin can kill you. and you can overdose on it. And there's certain drugs that you can take that you can't overdose on, despite what your attempts to. LSD, for example, there's no documented cases of any overdoses on a drug like that. This, if you overdose on it, your respiratory system gets suppressed and you basically suffocate yourself. You don't feel it because of the effects of the drug. All right. There's also the withdrawals are just, there's vomiting on top of it. It's a rough treatment. And as the chair pointed out, not all ways of dealing with the opioid crisis are available to deal with this. So this is arguably worse than fentanyl or heroin because we don't have the Narcan's not going to work.
Thank you.
So this drug has the same as an opioid, except that Narcan doesn't work on it. Is that correct?
I'm relying on what the chair said. I'm not clear that it does. I mean, that particularly, I mean, again, but even if Narcan does work on it, that should not influence that's not going to influence how I would support this policy.
Well, I see it from the EMS perspective that if Narcan doesn't work, people are going to die more than they are on opioids because they won't be able to take care of themselves.
Agreed 100%. If Narcan doesn't work, this is worse than fentanyl.
Yeah.
If it does work, is equally as bad as fentanyl.
I'm going to stop there. I'm like, y'all are in the room.
I was crawling out of my skin when I heard that one. I was like, oh,
it's hard to just sit there. Yeah.
That was
luckily a doctor did come on later. I don't know if you'll play that clip, but a doctor was there later on to explain that yes, Narcan does work. I think the way that he explained it was that it works, but the duration of effects for I think at this point, again, they were all using the term kratom, but they were specifically talking about synthetic 7-OH. But when they were talking about it, he said that the duration of effects is longer than the duration of the Narcan, so it may potentially have to be redosed in order for Narcan to stay effective.
As someone who's certified in Narcan, you may have to redose. It's usually 2 doses. That's why they give you 2 doses per thing for an overdose treatment. Anytime you use Narcan, and I saw the effects may come back after the Narcan wears off. That's with anything right now. Once you administer Narcan, you have to call the ambulance in case the effects wear off because that is listed. So that's just kind of an overall base with Narcan.
That guy was just misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I guess, on the bright side, it seemed like throughout his entire testimony that he recognized that kratom, it's certainly natural leaf, has enough merits that they want to leave that out of any kind of ban talk right now, and that they're really concerned with trying to get the what they see as the worst examples of this product off the shelves as quickly as possible. And I think that's why they stripped the KCPA framework out of the bill. Nobody actually clearly stated exactly why it was stripped out, because this bill originally had a regulation for all types of kratom in it. And then it was amended twice in the Senate and ultimately became strictly a ban on synthetic 7-OH. So from what I just kind of what I was hearing, I don't know if this is true, but it seemed to me like the state was worried they wouldn't be able to afford to enforce and to set up the necessary infrastructure to do a regulation bill the right way.
We've heard many states say that, and that's why they say we'll just do an all-out ban. I've heard that with many states.
Or like my state in Texas, where they have a KCPA, they're not enforcing it. So a year ago, they tried to ban it all, even though the senator that brought the ban bill, I will never forget this in his opening statement, says kratom powder's fine, but we're just going to ban it all. it's like, where's the logic in that? They wanted
Arizona, Nevada.
they wanted to criminalize too. So like, we were also worried here in Texas because it's like, wait a minute, we always thought we were safe. We have a KCPA. If they followed that and enforced it, probably most of the 708 products wouldn't even be on the shelves, and it'd be a non-issue here. But their way out is, let's just ban it all, even though powder's fine. I need to find that clip because he said that in his opener. I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. It's like, oh, y'all want to make me a felon?
Yeah, some of the language that was used, it was like, I was like worse than heroin and stuff. And I'm like, hi, have you taken a minute outside your streets here? Concord, Manchester, Nashville. I mean, 3 main places you can go to that is just prevalent out here with people walking around, literally losing their lives on a daily basis. You know, it's like, I'm just baffled. I do remember though, the first part of the hearing, at first it was supposed to just be a regulation hearing. And then there was a few people that were there that spoke against Kratom and 7 altogether, and then wanted a ban on everything. And I think that's when things started changing the original part of the bill, because when you guys were there the other day and they were reading some of the bill, I was like, well, wait a minute, we didn't discuss it that way back on the floor. What was it?
Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah, I was confused.
You were
I was
just,
like, wow.
yeah, you were just there testifying. So like,
yeah, so it's like they changed it from that was what, right before February 14th. So it was somewhere around February. I know it was before my surgery. I was there.
I think that was the February 14th episode.
That was the February 14th episode. So whatever day I had gone, because that's when you put the New Hampshire hearing on there.
It was
so that was right before my surgery and everything. So yeah, it was right. Yeah, it was right before all that.
And apparently it was I played a secret public video from New Hampshire's public YouTube. I mean, you know, it was publicly out there.
No, it's still there. It's still there. New Hampshire hasn't taken it down. Go ahead.
Yeah,
and
but
look
somebody
at the video.
didn't like that I played it.
Well, I mean, we can't please everybody, you know. That's just how I look at it. We can't please everybody, and we can just sit here and try to be positive and spread the knowledge of our truth that we know, and you know, help others find their way along the truth.
Exactly. I'm going to play Dan and Sarah's testimony because y'all did an amazing job. And it was so funny because I was watching some of it and then I had to get back to work, and I can always count on Venus. And so I was like, let me know when they speak. It's so funny, Sarah. I ended up texting Sarah right while she was speaking. I didn't because I had stepped away. I was trying to work, and then I got an email. No, I got a text from somebody that was like that Sarah had been talking to, one of the lobbyists, and it's like, can you make sure she had? I think it was the amended bill or something.
It was amended. They made a last minute thing.
Yeah, so I was texting, and then I think Venus had said that you were y'all were testifying. So I was like, I hurried up and went over to YouTube. And so I think you were in the middle, and I'm like, oh, I missed Dan. So I backed up to watch Dan's, and then I was horrified to see the timestamp of when you spoke. So I'm like, that was when I texted her. I was like, oh my God. I literally texted her while she's sitting there speaking. And I was like, I was so embarrassed. No, I was just trying to get you that info that was sent to me.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. Yeah, that was very helpful.
But y'all were great, and I'm so glad this was broadcast live on YouTube. And thank you again, Venus, because she is so good at finding these hearings when they're live and sharing them out so people are aware. So let me play. It'll be Dan first and then Sarah. So let's watch this.
Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Dan Pitta. My wife, Sarah, and I started a natural leaf kratom company back in 2015. I want to begin by thanking the Senate sponsors of this bill as it sits here today for making the distinction between natural leaf and synthetic, semi-synthetic products. There's a lot of legislatures around the country that are looking at this right now, and there's a good deal of them that aren't making that distinction. They're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So I do appreciate that. I want to address what I believe actually caused the problems that this bill is designed to solve, because it's not the alkaloids themselves, It's the companies that manufactured ultra concentrated products and labeled them as Kratom, which up until 2023, roughly, was just a natural product that comes mostly from Southeast Asia. Indonesia is where, most of it comes from. The deceptive marketing that was being used and is still being used is already illegal under the FTC Act and the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. So supplements aren't regulated by the FDA, but they do have regulations that say that you can't call it something it's not, which is what has been happening with this product, synthetic Kratom being labeled as Kratom. I have two specific concerns with the language in this bill. First is the possession provision. Under current New Hampshire law, unauthorized possession of a Schedule II substance is a Class B felony carrying up to 7 years in prison. The people in New Hampshire who currently possess these products are overwhelmingly just consumers who were misled by the deceptive marketing. Many of them bought what they believed was Kratom because that's how it was labeled. And combined with the immediate effective date and no grace period, these consumers would become felons overnight for possessing a product that they purchased legally and in good faith. We would respectfully ask the committee to consider limiting criminal penalties to manufacturing, distribution, and sale, and treating consumer possession through some kind of a grace period or a civil framework during a transition period. The second one is a technical concern with the definitions. The bill lists fermentation as a biosynthetic means of creating synthetic Kratom. However, there is traditional preparations of natural leaf Kratom that are fermented. There's one particular strain called Bintwanji, and they take the whole leaves, they put them in a bag, they let them sit, and the moisture and natural microbes, whatever, slightly alter the chemical profile, the alkaloid profile within the leaf. And then the leaves are dried and sold as they are. They've been doing it this way for hundreds of years. This product isn't really measurably any stronger than any other natural Kratom leaf product. So I would just ask potentially that a clarifying amendment would exempt natural leaf products that are treated with fermentation through this traditional means.
As that's your time. I just want to ask you though, did you see the version that came out of the committee in the Senate originally with the First Amendment?
I didn't read it, but from what I understand, I think that I would support that bill. I do agree with a framework for regulating all of the products responsibly.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
And the chair calls Sarah Pitta.
That was awesome. Do y'all want me to stop here for a moment, or you want me to just play the whole thing back to back?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, let's keep going, then we'll have y'all talk about this. But that was excellent job, Dan.
Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Sarah Pitta, and I do support this bill. My husband, Dan, and I run a natural leaf Kratom company. We've owned it since 2015. We have thousands of loyal customers across the country. It's not just our business, it's our family's life. I'm here because I want you to hear the other side of the counter. Our customers are real people. They're parents, veterans, nurses, retirees, and people who found natural Kratom that changed their quality of life. We hear their stories every day. We know what this plant means to them. And we want to thank the sponsors of this bill for protecting their access to it. The distinction between natural leaf and synthetic products that SB 557 makes is something we've been advocating for. And it means the world to us and to our customers that New Hampshire got this right. But I also need to tell you what else we've seen. We watched some of our longtime customers get drawn into concentrated synthetic products that were marketed as Kratom. They didn't know the difference. They saw a product on a shelf that said Kratom and they trusted that label. These are not people who are trying to get high. They're people who are already using natural Kratom and they thought it was the same thing. They were wrong, but it wasn't their fault. The companies that put those products on the shelves are deceptive, and those are the people that are responsible for this and for harm. My concern is that under this bill as written, some of those same people, the ones who were already misled, may become criminals possessing a product that they don't fully understand. We fully support SB 557. We just ask the committee to consider whether the possession provision might treat consumers differently than the manufacturers and distributors. and they are two very different groups, and people deserve different treatment under the law.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your testimony. The chair calls Lynn Perkins.
All right. Oh, wait. They still have you. Hold on. I thought it was over.
Who are standing in front of the door, could you grab seats, please? We can't be blocking the doorway.
Oh, you're okay.
Lynn Perkins.
I thought he was calling you back. I was like, okay, sorry about that. Excellent job, y'all.
Awesome job, you
Both
guys.
of you, great job.
I was very nervous. That's why I did not look up. I just looked down. I didn't want to look at anybody.
Did you feel like the whole time up there your voice was shaking?
Yes.
And then you listen to it back, you're like, wow, okay, I
It's not
didn't
that
sound
bad.
like as bad as I thought I did, because that's
Yeah.
how I feel every single
That's
time I go
normal.
up
That's
I
normal.
went fast too because I had I wanted to make sure that everything was
there. You
done.
feel rushed. You feel
Yeah.
rushed to get out so much information, and it's tough. It's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I always tell people, prepare for 3 minutes, have something for 2 minutes, but really, really prepare for 1 minute. And get out key points and try to avoid, like it's the basics, like, we
Yeah.
all know where it's from. We all know, certain things, you say, I buy lab tests, you really got to say, your key points and then just get it done, because they rush you through, which is tough. And it's tough that you're rushed through. But again, they're on the
Yeah.
same work time as a lot of, people regular 9 to 5. So it's tough for us to get there. And it's tough for them to have to stay late. So I sympathize, and I'm grateful that they actually, New Hampshire really has set, for me, being headfirst into advocacy, New Hampshire has really set a big precedence. Like they're starting to go, hey, let's ask questions, let's educate ourselves, because they're not educated here in New Hampshire. And I can only do so much. You guys can only do so much, but there's a lot more that can be done. It's just,
And at least
it's
they
not
want to
being done.
research 708 too, instead of outright banning it. They want to learn
Yep.
more about it, which is really
Yep.
good too. Yeah.
Yep. I remember listening to a piece of it, and and one of the guys had said, if a microdose of 7-OH, being that when he was talking about a microdose, meaning, people that are using it sparingly and holding
Nibbles.
themselves accountable. Exactly. Yes. Nibbles, who are taking their nibbles, and it's helping their pain, and, or, they're staying off harder drugs, then why are we banning something? Why are we going to make all of these people criminals? And I think it was, I don't know if it was the same guy, but they were like, are we ready to equip more criminals right away? Like, New Hampshire's not equipped for that. I'm not ready for it. Let me tell you.
It's not even, but it's not killing people in mass. I mean, that's this big misconception that like Kratom and 7-OH is killing all these people. That's not true. If it was, the government would have taken it off the shelves.
Yeah.
So, but y'all did a great job.
Thank you.
I'm so glad y'all were able to join us. With
Thank you,
this.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, gosh,
I
we've
know they're
already.
leaving here soon for their
I
tattoos.
know.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for them. I'm like, yes, ink therapy. At least someone's getting it for us right now. Thanks for
Exactly.
taking one for the team,
We
guys.
can refer you. We're in the same state, so I'll refer you and get you a discount. So you
Oh
can get
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing ink therapy. I need at least one tattoo this year. That's a goal for me. It's a goal
There's
for
nothing
me.
better than ink therapy. That's how my
It's
arms
probably
got
going
filled
to be
up.
something related to the kratom plant, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, good.
I'll travel for ink. I'll travel.
I love our group. This is so awesome. Next up, Tennessee.
Before we move on,
yes, go ahead.
I also want to say thank you guys for dressing to your audience. That was
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah,
look
y'all were dressed.
amazing.
Y'all were dressed to the nines for that.
Professional.
Well, I was
Very
excited I
sharp.
get to dress up. I never dress up for anything, so I was like, oh, I can wear fancy clothes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Mongo, they're getting tattoos out, kratom tattoos after when we started it an hour and a half ago. Dan and Sarah talking about that when they leave here, they have an appointment to go get kratom tattoos, semi-matching kratom tattoo. I have one. I got one. I didn't have much room left, so I had to find a small spot. I was determined to get a kratom tattoo because this plant has changed my life. Are y'all, Dan and Sarah, y'all able to stay a little bit, or do y'all need to get going? Yeah.
We just need to go by 4, so we have like what, 15 more minutes?
50 minutes. Yeah, because next up, and we'll be done pretty quick here, is Tennessee. So Tennessee had their, the Kratom ban had already passed the Senate and had been in the House committee hearings, and then this week, same day as y'all's, on Wednesday, it was the Tennessee House of Representatives. It went to the floor. Has anybody seen it? Have y'all watched? It was short. I mean, it wasn't like long drawn out, and there was no more, people testifying. It was just the having the reps say whatever they want to say, and then moving on to a vote, a House floor vote. But I don't have time to play a lot of it, but I'm going to play a couple of things that stood out. So they were all very short with what these different reps were saying, but I'm going to play a couple of clips.
I renew my motion.
Representative Bain.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also told my constituents that I would speak on their behalf, but I want to tell you a real story from my district. There's a gentleman that owns a Kratom bar in my district called Cava Lounge, and it's a non-alcoholic community lounge. It's a Victorian library theme with no booze and no smoke. They check IDs, they make the drinks in-house, and they keep the lab results on file for every batch they serve. And they're doing exactly what we want businesses to do. And the community that I've engaged with at this Kratom bar is one full of veterans dealing with PTSD, Tennesseans in recovery who have found a place to socialize that isn't centered on alcohol, and people managing chronic pain who are trying to stay off medications that nearly killed them. So while I also appreciate the bill, there are many Tennesseans who have found community with Kratom, and they have found a place that they call home. And so I have to vote no, but thank you for the bill.
So that's one of the very few people that, did not want Kratom banned. But what's interesting,
those communities like that are fantastic, because I have that type of a community here. That's what we've got a couple kava bars here, and they've Kratom and stuff, and it's a huge community. It's a huge community. So taking that away is a huge hit. It's a huge hit to many, to veterans, to people who are in law enforcement, to people who are in, the healthcare. Like, we have a lot of people who choose a leaf and, they're not drinking alcohol. They're out here, just having a little Kratom tea, and we're out there, either doing karaoke or, trivia. That's what we're doing.
Kava bars are cool. I mean, I've been to one here, and it's very cool. And she even talked about the veterans there and stuff. But the clip I'm getting ready to show you is how most of the reps spoke before it went to the vote. So watch this one.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the sponsor. I'm proud to sign on to this. I had a constituent call me and was praising Kratom, said that he has been addicted to 3 different opioids for the past 10 years. And since he started taking Kratom, he doesn't need those opioids. That's because this is a more powerful opioid. This is an extremely dangerous drug. It's a new drug on the market. The FDA hadn't even addressed it yet. And putting the raw form out can be altered. Thank you for doing this, because this is probably the single most dangerous drug that's available to the public right now without a prescription, and we need to put an end to it before it really terrorizes our community. Thank you.
Where has this man been for the last 10 years?
He just took someone's positive story.
Yeah.
This was helping them. And then said, well, why is it helping? Because it's worse.
That was just sickening to me how he did that.
That was really just malicious. And you just took a positive, and
a new
I feel
drug
bad for that person that he just took their positive, because that's not right.
Yeah.
Not okay.
And for him to say a new drug that the FDA hasn't even messed with yet. Where have you been for the last 10 years? Seriously.
The
Where
FDA
have you
decided
been?
they don't want to mess with it. They ain't messing with, they didn't want to take it from us years ago for a reason.
Also, how are they representing their constituent with that? Like, they literally contacted them with their story, and then they took it and ran with it on their own accord, and that's not how government should be.
They paint it to their narrative.
Right. That's exactly right.
I don't understand how they don't recognize. I mean, he either is so willfully ignorant and happy in that fact that he doesn't care how badly he's butchering the information, or he's getting such a big payday. Like, wouldn't you be embarrassed to stand up there and spout that, and then know that
all of it's
at
wrong?
least the 15 to 20 million people who take Kratom and care about it in this country are going to see you acting like that? Never mind when it comes out that you are dead wrong, and that, you know, if you do successfully ban it, that your overdose numbers are going to go through the roof. You know, but like, he's speaking so confidently about how wrong he
purposely
is.
hurting people. Literally, you're hurting people on purpose. That bravo for being such a hurtful person. Like, come on, do better.
Those are the people that need to be voted out.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that person he was talking about, I mean, first of all, I'm just sickened by this, but the person he was talking about should really be sickened and should do everything they can to get that person out of power in their legislature, because that was sickening to watch.
Not only are their overdose rates going to go up, so are their suicide rates. Because there are people that won't go to the streets, but they also will not survive and continue to try to live in the pain they're in. How dare you?
Yeah, God knows there's
How
many
dare
times
you
that
sit
my
up there
head
and
went
think
there.
that you're so much better than anyone that you should vote against this bill because oh no.
And another shout out to Venus. Thank you for pointing that particular person's that was so good. Always feel free to do that when you're sending those to me, Venus.
Oh, she gets the good stuff. She'll message me and she'll be like, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, "No, they didn't." I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, the audacity, like it's we're just like, it's exhausting. We're up at this point. We're just, nothing I think is shocking us anymore at once being said, because it's just blatantly so misinformed.
But these people have the power to do all this. And, and to listen to their constituents and then turn this around. Oh, we get a lot of static from you, Venus. But it's just, and I mean, Angela, I mean, first time for me too, to hear a politician say that, you know, people got off of opioids with Kratom because it was stronger than an opioid. And again, these are legislators who shouldn't have already been educated on what Kratom is.
I'm wondering, I always wonder, what is it that they're thinking? Is it stronger? Is it stronger because it's taking my pain away better than a morphine, or better than
they can't comprehend
else
that. They can't
with
comprehend
less side effects and
they can't comprehend that.
No mental fog, you know, I don't have to worry about, you know, where I would take a Vicodin and then don't operate heavy machinery, don't drive, don't do this, like all the don'ts, because of how it would make someone feel. I don't have to worry about that. Is this stronger than morphine? Not in that way. Does it take my pain away better than morphine? Yeah, I've had morphine. It does a heck of a lot better of job of morphine. I can't stand morphine. It makes me feel horrible. The relief of pain does not last like that. It didn't last with pain pills. You're supposed to take pain pills every 4 to 6 hours. And we all know, everybody here knows, it's chronic pain patients. Your pain, hold on, every 4 to 6 hours, you can't be in pain for 4 to 6 hours. It's not here I am. I know Robin and I are both, you know, we're both sitting here shaking our heads. Madeline's over here, got her pain going on. And it's you know, today's a heavy pain day. Guess what? Today I'm going to dose more. Yesterday, I may not have. I had 1 dose yesterday. Today, I'm going to dose more because my pain hurts a little bit more today. And I have the ability to do that without worrying about not having extra pain meds or whatever. And I'm not, you know, completely I'm not intoxicated like a medication would intoxicate you. So I'm really baffled at where they're it's stronger than morphine. It's not. If people are thinking it's stronger than morphine and they're immediately going to how morphine inebriates you in the head, that's not what's happening. Is it taking away the pain better than morphine? For me, it does, but I don't feel what goes on mentally. I'm not, what is that word? I'm not, you know, annihilated, completely inebriated. I'm not under the influence. I'm completely sober and clarity, and I'm completely of all my faculties. If I was on morphine, I'd be laid out in my bed and I wouldn't be talking to you guys.
Morphine didn't help my pain, but what it did is make me not care that
Exactly.
that I was in pain. The other, like Oxycontin and Percocet helped. It didn't make me not care. But morphine, man, that one just does not help pain for me. Like I'll still be in pain. But
No, I just sat in the bed,
it
zero.
makes me go, you know what? I'm hurting, but I just don't care. That was the
you
only
felt a
one
little
that did
loopy
that.
up in the upstairs. That's how it made me feel. I was like, oh, whatever. I don't care. I'm just sitting here. But did I care? Yeah. Did I? But now it's like we look back. Do we ultimately care? Yeah. I hated the way it made me feel. Absolutely hated the way it made me feel.
But everything is always a comparison of morphine. Morphine is not the only opioid, and morphine doesn't work on everybody. So it's like, why do they keep making these generic comparisons and you don't even know what they're talking about?
I think the comment that gets me the most is the one that says, well, people can go back to their doctors and go back on opioids. No, they can't.
I can't. I'm
Even
pharmaceutical
if we
resistant.
wanted to, we can't.
They can't.
Our doctors can't properly treat us. They can't properly treat us these days. And people are mad at their doctors. Don't be mad at your doctors, because you know what? A good doctor will properly take care of you. They can't do that these days. They're not allowed to give you the medication that you need to make it through if you are a chronic pain patient. They are not. And you know what that does to a doctor? That's not cool.
Yeah.
All the ones that have become doctors in the past 10 years and got through their schooling, they've been indoctrinated to not even like pain medicine, traditional opioid pain medicine isn't even going to be an option. And then you got to go through the step therapy all over again with the blocks and everything else. I just not going to.
You have women giving C-section births now that are being sent home with ibuprofen only.
Yeah. Cancer patients.
Yep, cancer patients. They're not getting anything.
Terrible. Terrible.
Full mouth extraction. They're getting ibuprofen. That does not work.
Or IV Tylenol.
Tylenol, ibuprofen. You know, recently the ibuprofen that I was on definitely was part of the issue that I was bleeding internally for a week. But guess who's not taking ibuprofen ever again?
Yeah, and I just took some, and I'm not supposed to take it because of kidney and liver disease.
I'm terrified.
Tylenol or ibuprofen, but I do my best. I just try to be safe with it. What else am I going to do sometimes? Because sometimes the things you have on hand aren't as helpful either, and you just got to write it out, you know. Yep. So I just
I know. I took a bunch of Tylenol today, and it's not helping. So I'm having to write it out, which is not.
My mom was taking the pharmaceuticals all these people tell her to take. She was taking way less, and they killed her. So. You know, she was taking less than what they were prescribed over an 8-month time from a pain clinic. She listened to what they said, and it took her life. And hence why I looked for natural botanicals, because I would not be here today. I 100% would not be alive today if I did not find natural botanicals. My organs were terrible. My blood work was terrible. My health was going downhill. I would not be here alive today.
Yeah. Oh,
Kratom's such a great success story for you and for all of us. I mean, we all have.
And then Canada has the MAID program that's just getting more and more. I mean, people are literally choosing that option to end their lives because of things that there's medicine available for to ease them and keep them here. And then the other thing is some of these people, anorexia, some of them are not terminal illnesses, and they're letting them have that option, and that just breaks my heart. I mean, it breaks my heart that there could be help available in other ways, but they'll just go ahead and let you, population control or whatever is going on. That I just don't.
Yeah. California's doing the suicide assist. My grandmother just did it with ALS. She didn't want to go through it.
I advocated for that 15 years ago, but it's a little bit different than MAID. I mean, you have to have. You do have to be terminal, or you're not going to be able to recover for California, unless they changed it since I haven't been doing it anymore, which has been a good 3-4 years. So
I know Dan and Sarah need to head out because they're going to go get their tattoos.
No, Dan had to go to the bathroom. He couldn't wait no more.
Okay. We've been here for a while.
I have like 2 minutes, and then I have to go.
Okay. I don't know where all that feedback was coming from. Let me real quickly play how Tennessee ended. Okay. So all those reps got up, did their little tiny speeches. Very few wanted to keep Kratom safe and legal. Most of them want it banned and criminalized. That's a state where they want to. So here's how quickly it's now gone to the governor's desk. Watch this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the previous question.
They're going to do their vote in just a
Previous question been called. Is there objection? Seeing none, we're voting on previous on the bill. All those
And
in
look
favor.
at the lady, you know, there at the podium. She's the one that brought this bill, and she is beaming. She's smiling. She's happy as can be. Just keep an eye on her, okay?
Bill 1649, vote aye when the bell rings. Those opposed, vote no. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote?
I feel like I'm looking at
Ms.
the
Clerk, please
Dow.
take the vote.
Ayes 78, non-nays 8, present not voted.
House Bill 1649 have received a constitutional majority. I hereby declare passed without objection. The motion reads here table. File next bill, Mr. Clerk.
So just like that, it's now sitting at the governor, and with the swipe of a pen, it could become, you know, banned and criminalized.
It's so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It really is.
And, you know, I know a lot of them fought hard. A lot of them kept going to the Capitol and speaking, and those reps didn't even care.
Yeah.
I just got a message, and I haven't checked it yet. I still have to go verify it. But I was told that the Kansas bill is only 7/0H. So we need to look at that bill.
So I looked into that last night, and it does explicitly and only say 7-hydroxymitragynine, but it doesn't set any limit. So, and their controlled substance law specifically says any quantity of a controlled substance constitutes possession of the controlled substance.
And
so all natural leaf, because it has the only thing that you would be able to get technically, I suppose, would be mitragynine extract. That's not outlawed. Your body, you know, converts it to 7-hydroxy, and to some extent through, you know, metabolism. But they didn't. I don't believe they banned mitragynine, just 7-hydroxymitragynine. So potentially you could still get straight mitragynine, you know, gummies or something like that. As long as it is, you know, tested to have 0 measurable 7-hydroxy in it.
And that's not going
Which
to
is
fall with the
basically
other,
what Tennessee
the other
had
extracts,
years
like
ago.
the semi and semi-synthetic. That doesn't see. I'm super like trying to figure out the wording and the language on it, because if they're going to ban certain things, like, it scares me. It's like, does that add it in? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing.
Right.
I'm not understanding.
Yeah, it was confusing to us too, but that's what we read, and it's supposed to be confusing. Apparently, you know what I mean? It kind of seems that way. The way
It's understanding that it would be confusing because they're not taking the time to learn what they're legislating on in the first place.
Yep.
So
They probably have no
confused
idea what they're
legislators are
talking
going to
about.
create confusing legislation, which is going to confuse prosecutors.
And
And then
law
you've got,
enforcement.
you know,
Law
and
enforcement.
then you've got people getting locked up because they don't even, you know,
No,
they
but-
can't possibly know what's actually legal and what's not, because,
Right.
you know, it's just,
Right.
it's crazy.
They heard Kratom. They heard Kratom. Say law enforcement. They heard Kratom and go lock someone up, and then it turns out, well, that's not really what the law is. If somebody has a good lawyer,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a good
Yeah,
lawyer
well-
and a public defender, then you're probably screwed.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like basically it's kind of like the old Tennessee bill was. If it's got 7-0 in it to any degree, that's it. It's no good. Which means pure leaf kratom would be banned as well.
Yeah.
It's a technicality that they're going to hang people on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, it's still banned. Pure leaf kratom is still banned in Kansas in my eyes.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, diphenhydramine is still going to be legal in Tennessee. So if you want to take an entire bottle of sleeping pills, you can still do that. You just can't take an entire bottle of kratom with it, which is what Matthew Davenport very likely did. If you saw my video and you saw what the math does for the amounts of concentrations in his system, it does work out that it's very, very possible he took an entire bottle of sleeping pills and an entire bottle of kratom. And I don't think that the kratom is the dangerous thing there when it's so far. I mean, there is no established threshold for fatality with kratom at least with natural leaf, and it does seem that he had natural leaf, because that was something that I looked at. It doesn't look like he was taking anything synthetic. So it was most likely natural leaf that he took. But this law being passed in his name has nothing to do with diphenhydramine, and that was what that was the only substance in his system that was at a lethal level. And it wasn't even mentioned. I mean, it was just in the toxicology report, but it wasn't that was what likely killed him. It was, an honorable mention, with all the other substances that were prescribed to him that he was taking.
It was a crazy
and
amount.
it doesn't say anything about mental health either.
No.
Which is where they should have been pointing their energies.
Yeah. And so now it's like this, well, Kratom and Benadryl kills. No, I actually, a year ago, I had to take a very high dose amount of Benadryl and other antihistamines because of a reaction to something that I had for, a skin issue. And I still took my Kratom. And I had absolutely, and I was having to take a lot, and steroids. I had no issues. I'm not taking them at the same moment, but I'm still taking them. And plenty of people on social media have talked about they've had no issues with Benadryl and Kratom. But of course, everybody's different. But in this case, it's like
we're not taking whole bottles of Benadryl.
Exactly. It was such a huge amount of Benadryl, but nobody talks about that. They talk about the Kratom in his system.
And where was that originally at? I'd like to, because I have a few people asking me where
Tennessee.
that original Tennessee. Okay, Tennessee. All right, I'll let them know.
This whole band.
The Michael Davenport. It's the Davenport law.
Yeah.
Now known as the Davenport law.
Yeah.
Me and Dan have to go, and our dogs are getting upset because they need their walks.
Yeah,
I'm going to get going too, guys. So you guys carry on if you need to. I'll see everybody next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Amanda. And
Bye,
Dan,
guys.
Sarah,
Bye,
good
guys.
luck. Good luck,
Amanda. Bye, Dan and Sarah.
Good luck with the Kratom tattoos. Yeah,
one thing I wanted to just say real quick before I go is on KratomIndex.com. I just, it's not an advertisement because I don't make any money from it. It's 100% free to use. But I just want the advocates out there to know that this resource is now available. I've taken software that scrapes PubMed and every other government website that publishes any kind of information on Kratom. It also scans the AKA, the DEA, all the websites out there where, the information that policymakers are going to be, the ones that are actually writing these bills, the ones behind the scenes that you don't get to vote into office, where those people are, supposedly going to be taking their information from. I've got this resource now, so anybody can go there, KratomIndex.com. You type in anything. This is a really interesting one because I know it came up the last time Sarah was on. Somebody had asked the question about hyperpigmentation. And there's 8 published papers on hyperpigmentation that you can find all in that one place right now. Go to KratomIndex.com, type in hyperpigmentation, and you'll be able to see those 8 papers and what they found. And to give you the short version, there does appear to be some connection with extremely long-term use. Between 4 and 12 years is where most of the people that have been studied were developing hyperpigmentation. It's called photodistributed hyperpigmentation, so it only affects areas of the skin that you are getting exposed to sunlight. And there's one paper in there that talks about using a titanium sapphire laser to reverse it. So if anybody's interested in reading about that, it's all there. You can use the AI summary button to generate an AI generated plain English summary of the text as well. So if you're not good with medical terminology, it'll make it a lot easier to read that. So I'd just like to encourage people to go there and check it out. And, if you have any feedback, my email's on there. So you can let me know if there's something missing and we can get it added, anything like that, features that you're looking for. I just wanted to put that out there because we did get a good strong boost when I first published posted the video explaining it. But we've seen the the amount of legislation stuff is not going away, but the number of people who are going to Kratom Index to learn more about Kratom has not gone up, in response to the amount of legislation. So I feel like there's a lot of information on there that people could be using to help educate their representatives when it comes time to send them an email. It's all there, good, bad, or indifferent.
Can you access it on your phone? Because Angela says she tried to pull up the site and she said she didn't think. What kind of phone are you using, Angela? And yes, definitely add this when you're advocating. Let me tell you, when y'all came out with this, let me tell you what I added when I do my copy and paste to when I email or fill out a form for any of my advocacy to legislators. I add this line in. A new resource is now available with all the Kratom research in one place. You might find this helpful. And I put the URL, kratomindex.com. So add something into your emails when you're sending out to legislators, because this is, and, like when you're speaking to reporters or journalists, let them know about this, because this is a great resource. And thank you, Dan, for creating it.
Absolutely.
I can access it from my phone.
I'm sorry.
I said I can access it from my phone.
You can?
Yeah. I was just able to pull it up and I searched hyperpigmentation and it ended up working.
Okay.
I mean, there could potentially be small bugs. I'm a single person, working on this by myself as far as the coding, all the behind the scenes stuff. So, if there is any delays, or if a paper, seems like it should be showing up and suddenly it's not, I may just be working on it in the back end. I have some plans for some really advanced features that are essentially, it's going to make it so we'll be able to take the consensus on a given subject, from all of the published research. So we're going to be able to take, basically create like a sort of a meter that shows, if a paper is written on this particular subject, like hyperpigmentation, how many papers contradict it and how many, are in concurrence with it. So that'll be able to, we can kind of start to see the trends without having to actually read every single paper in detail yourself. We'll be able to take the combined information and sort of be able to put on a scale where, this side effect falls, as where this benefit falls in terms of all of the studies that are looking at that particular topic. So that's gonna be the next big thing that's gonna be coming to the website, hopefully in the next few weeks.
Cool.
But as it is right now, it's a great resource for just, search whatever with Kratom that you're interested in. The differences between 7-OH and natural Kratom, the death reports, Matthew Davenport's autopsy, or at least the information about it is in there. So we've tried to get every resource from across the internet into that one spot to make it easier to find exactly what you need to when you're trying to learn more about the plant.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. And so it was great being on with you ladies. And
thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the tattoos.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have fun with that.
Absolutely.
Thank you both. Appreciate
Yeah, that's
you.
so cool.
Bye.
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 And yeah, I saw Amanda had put on here. Whoops. Here, I'll close them out. Hold on a second. Amanda,
Angela, one thing you might want to try is have somebody send you the link and see if you can open it that way. Because I've had to do that with a few people trying to access kratomindex.com.
But as far as let me give you all my easy hack for when I'm advocating. So I use Gmail, but you could do this probably with any of them. I just have in my drafts, I just have an email with all my different things I can copy and paste. So when I'm advocating, so I got like a short version, a long version, I have my story in there, and I've got all kinds of things in there. So I can just, whenever something arises, I can just go into my draft on Gmail, copy and paste, and pop it right in, whether I'm emailing directly or filling out like an AKA form or whatever. And it makes things so much quicker and easier. So that's just a simple, easy way to do things. But find a system that works well for you, so you're not having to every time you're trying to advocate. All right, let me open my email. What should I say? You should have something you can always copy and paste, just to make it so easy on yourself.
Another option is GKC has that amazing new app.
Oh, yes, they do.
Advocacy Buddy.
Yes.
And it really is beneficial for a lot of people.
Yeah. What's the URL to that? I don't know.
I want to say it's advocacybuddy.org.
Yeah, I've seen that on some reels.
Yeah, I can't get to it, unfortunately, because if I try to click out to get to it, my phone will kill the feed.
Advocacy Buddy.
Yes.
It's not the .com or .org. Shoot.
Well, it looks like it's on the Kratom Consumer Advisory Council Advocacy Buddy. Like they got a page.
Yeah, but I need like a short link. Yeah, I found a long link, but to say it on here, it'll be helpful if somebody just go. What you can do is go to globalkratomcoalition.org to their website. Because it's on there, but I don't see. I know there's a short link to it. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head.
I have it somewhere, but like I said, I can't get to it.
But we'll get it and share it next time. But there are a lot of good resources. Yeah, Advocacy Buddy is the name of it. I just don't have the link. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might be able to get it real quick. But yeah, GKC developed this, and it's an excellent idea. All right. Oh, it's not a short link. Okay, globalkratomcoalition.org/advocacy-buddy. Let me put it in the banner here. So I thought they had a shorter link for it, but let me put this on screen to make it easy for everybody to see what I'm saying here. All right, Global Kratom Coalition. So y'all jot this down. globalkratomcoalition.org/advocacy, and then put a little hyphen, little dash, and then buddy, and that'll take you right to it. So y'all got great resources now. What Dan was just talking about with the kratomindex.com, an amazing resource, and then now with Advocacy Buddy.
That one is probably my favorite.
Oh, I love it. I love what Dan put together. I love that some of the techies, because, for a while I kept thinking, well, I'm pretty techie. I was thinking, because now there's this whole thing called vibe coding, where it's like, instead of having to be a coder, know how to code apps and sites, it's like, oh, you can just talk to your AI and tell it what you want. And it makes it so much easier. So it's not timely and expensive like it used to be. You don't have to be trained as a computer coder or a hacker type. So I just been like racking my brain for months, like, what kind of things can I help develop? It just takes the idea so you can have AI translate it. And then I love how Dan came up with, Kratom Index. It's like, that's a great idea. Make it easy to go look up research papers and publications, and the actual research that some of these legislators claim doesn't exist. It's like, your information's wrong. That's why when you're emailing reps, put the link to that in there so they know. That's why I added my new line to my, every time I do this, it's new resources available with all the Kratom research in one place. I'm trying to say, like, here's something simple and easy so you can research this.
I think we actually are going to look at maybe including that link in our template, because it's on our website, but putting it in the template as well, in some of the templates as well for people. And that way it's already done.
Yeah. Well, we've covered a lot. We've been here for 2 hours, and I got something, I'll save it for next week, but I'll play a short video, like a quick short one, because apparently there's a wannabe YouTuber who doesn't know about Kratom, but she's taken it upon herself to dive into this and make these videos about it to get attention and views and clicks. And I find that just ridiculous when you got these, 20 somethings that they just want to become a YouTuber. They think like, let me make my living as a YouTuber. And so she's apparently decided she's an investigative journalist now, I guess. And so she put out a video that's like 13 minutes long. We'll play it next week because I'm actually briefly in it because they pulled one of my old TikTok videos. They did like this montage of these different like people with kratom, but mostly with extracts. But they had me with my kratom powder and then another person with their kratom powder. All the rest of these little clips were people with extracts. But watch this little clip though that she made because this pretty much gives you the idea of what she's doing.
So just bought drugs at a drive-through with no ID. No ID. I feel like I just did a drug deal. Like I knowing what these tablets like are capable of. The kid looked like he was like 16. This stuff was like $65 for 10 tablets. Let's see what it looks like. It's like little like vitamin capsules. It says kratom may be habit forming. You don't say.
So who wants to take a wild guess?
$65 for 10 tablets, or excuse me.
I mean, she was definitely talking about 7-OH.
Yeah, right. But mine were 10 milligrams for $30. And so that had to have been higher dose because I would have never spent that much money for 10 tablets. So
but y'all take a guess. I want everybody to take a wild guess. How many views do you think that little short 30-second YouTube video got?
I'm afraid to guess because it's going to be an outrageous number.
No, it's not like 100,000. 30,000. That video just came out 18 hours ago, and she's already at 30,000 views of that YouTube short. And I don't know
because nobody's holding her accountable.
Yeah, but look how she made that video. Like,
and then why don't you just go ahead and tell
laughing about
else that there's stuff out there so that they can run to it and then you become part of the problem. So I mean, I don't know. People, it's just.
And the title of her video is Kratom and 7-OH are both dangerous. And here's her little thing about
First off, she knows nothing about kratom.
She knows nothing. But check this out. Apparently she's like changed her because the video that I'm in, the longer one, I'll play it next week. When it came out the other day, people in her comments were like, "Oh, I love this new format you're doing." So I think she's trying to find an angle to get attention. But because she has just under 5,000 subscribers, but I imagine it's going to grow because her videos are getting a lot of views. But here's what the description of her video says. This is the home for deep dives, interviews, and mini documentaries about the issues I care about most. Wait a minute, girl, you don't even know what this thing is about. You see the popularity. You see people with their million views talking about feel free or whatever. So I want to jump in and it's like this is one of the reasons why this won't get out of the social media cycle, because every so often somebody goes viral with one of their videos and it's usually almost always somebody talking about feel free. It almost is always about feel free. And they go in these cycles, and I haven't seen a viral one in a while. So I think some of these wannabe YouTubers are like, let me pick this thing that everybody's talking about, and I see people getting lots of hits. Plus, probably don't know this, that there are like software, well, not even really software anymore. It's just, you can pay for a service online that, you go to the website and you log into your account and it will tell you what are the popular keywords right now, what's hitting, what are people watching. And I guarantee you kratom and 7-OH are popping up on these because all you see are people that don't know anything about either one, but they're doing like her and making videos about it and laughing about it. So she got 30,000 views. So what do you think she's going to do? She's going to keep making this kind of content because like I said,
and if she truly cared, she wouldn't be monetizing this. She'd be doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Right, but yeah, she's not monetizing this. I mean, she is monetizing it. This is the whole goal. And
exactly, rather than go get a job.
And when a couple of years ago, when one of the real popular ones we played on the Kratom Gals, that Emmy girl, oh my gosh, with her feel-free crazy viral video, she bitched and moaned right afterwards about, oh, my account wasn't monetized on TikTok when this came out, because she had like millions of views on her crazy feel-free video about this drug she took, and oh my God. So yeah, it's always somebody young who doesn't know anything about Kratom, but let's go make a video in hopes it goes viral.
Make me $1 million.
Yeah. It just pisses me off, these people that do that. But that's just to give you an idea. She has another short video and then her longer one. I'll play them both next week. But this is always such a great time hanging out with everybody and having these conversations. And yes, Bethany, everybody wants to be a YouTube star now. It's so true. It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? That wasn't ever on my bingo card.
Yeah.
I want to be a YouTuber or a TikToker and make all this money. Like, it's just like what? The 0.001% that makes any money at it.
I spent 65 years of my life successfully avoiding cameras until BAE.
And look at you now. Amanda said $65 for 10 is not even a reputable vendor.
No.
Well, she did like a drive-through convenience store is what that looked like. She was that to me looked really shady.
Yeah.
It says paid actor. She's just this wannabe. When you look at her YouTube channel, it's very wannabe. And I think she found an angle that gets her attention. So she's probably going to.
I wonder what state she's in that they're doing drive-through.
Yeah.
I don't know. She felt very LA to me when I watched her video. So I don't know. I don't know if it says where she's based out of. But she only has 47, almost 4,800 subscribers. So she doesn't have like this. But it seems like she's trying to find an angle to grow her community. And I don't know where she came from or who all, but yeah, her YouTube descriptions. Reagan Conrad uses her reporting roots and passion for storytelling to guide audiences through relevant rabbit holes and fascinating deep dives, sparking the kind of ideas you will want to unpack in late night conversations with friends. Through on-the-ground reporting, in-depth interviews, and thoughtful research, she explores the cultural issues shaping Gen Z. Whether the conversations are joyful or difficult, Reagan brings a sense of softness to even the heaviest topics, shedding light and equipping her audience with the understanding needed to navigate today's world.
Give me a break.
And she has a podcast too. I wonder if she's just putting these up. She has a podcast called The Daily Wire.
Isn't that already a news?
Oh, she's taking. Okay, so apparently her videos. Yeah, her videos here are also, like I see, as an Apple podcast, because yeah, she has that video of the longer one I'll play next week on here too. Yeah, I mean this is the kind of stuff she's doing. The short one is for her longer video. The longer one is the dangerous drug hiding at your local gas station, and then this week she put out one called "I Lost a Year of My Life to Instagram," and her other one is "The Dark Truth of America's Public School System."
Oh my word.
So
well, I hope she at least tells people not to take that whole tablet and certainly not to take the whole 5-pack or whatever that was in a whole day. If she's going to do one part of it, she needs to educate with the other part of it, not lead people to believe they can just go pick it up and then use it to get high off of right away.
No, that would be responsible journalism.
That would right. To at least teach, if you're going to teach this side too, to teach people, if you're going to put it out there, to be safe with what they're doing instead of misleading and saying, go get this whole pack and just get, your legal drug type of thing.
Yeah. And Angela, her name is Reagan Conrad. So Reagan, Reagan Conrad is her name. I don't know. What I do is I look for videos about Kratom on YouTube, and she popped up this week, and I was watching her 13-minute video, And like 3.5 minutes in, when you see that this montage of the, I saw myself, and it's big, because this video is so old. I mean, it would be hard for me to go find it, but it's buried in my TikTok somewhere. And it's me doing an unboxing of New Hope Botanicals. So I'm holding this huge kilo from New Hope. And I see it pop up on the screen. I'm like, oh, that's me. But they're just trying to be very attention grabbing, and she's very over the top, as y'all saw in that short clip. And that short clip is not even in her longer video. She made these short, because there's another short clip too. She made a couple of short clips that are just her talking about all this that are still separate from the longer video. So, but we'll stop here and pick this up next week. And who knows what we'll find between now and next week. There's always so many videos.
I know.
I mean, just keeping up with all the advocacy stuff's exhausting, but then trying to keep up with all these videos. There's so, I don't know. When we started the Kratom Gals 2.5 years ago, there wasn't nearly as much of this out there.
Right.
And now it's like, because it used to be, okay, here's some videos. I would always have plenty to play, but these days it's like, like 70, 80, sometimes 90% of what I come across. It's like, we're not gonna have time for all this. I got really picking. There were tons of news stories this week. There's just not enough time. I wanted to have plenty of time for Dan and Sarah's testimony and the stuff, they did. I wanted to have a little bit of time for Tennessee. There's just not enough time. There's so many of these.
Yeah.
But people want to stay more on top of some of these, especially with the news stories. Just go into YouTube and you just type in Kratom. All I do is I have the word Kratom. And what you do is, whether you're doing it on your phone or on your computer, when you do a keyword search, and so at the top you type in Kratom. Let me pull it up on the screen here so I'll give y'all a quick demonstration. Being that I'm Miss Techie, I can show y'all how this works. So, okay, so I'm on YouTube, and look, we're live, like right here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in Kratom. Okay, so all I'm going to do, you go into the search on your phone or on your computer, just type in the word Kratom, and it's going to come up. Now, here's the thing. This is just giving you a bunch of stuff. We want to do the filter. So on your desktop computer, it's way over here on the right, but on your phone, look for the filter. You want the filter, and you just want to do today. You want to do today, maybe like I do today. I check it every day. But you can also just do this week or this month. But if you want to get a very specific time frame, so I'll click today, and this is going to just show me in the past 24 hours, what has Kratom in it. And look at this. This is a lot. Now, some of it's going to be some weird stuff that's not relevant. But look at all this. And sometimes when you get further down, and it doesn't always give you everything, because sometimes I go, wait a minute, that's it? And then the next day, something else might pop up that didn't show the first time. But there's always lots of stuff. I'm going to go back in the filter, and I'll do this week. See, here's her video. Here it is.
Perfect. Sweet. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll do tablets.
So that's it. Just popped up in my feed like that. But
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly.
Age from 18 to 21. That's perfectly fine by all of us.
Well, a substance you can buy at the gas station could soon be illegal. Tennessee.
So that's all I do is I just keep tabs like that, and you'll always see lots of news stories. Because they make sure the word Kratom is in their title, and many times they do it in a way where Kratom kills or something crazy, that's very attention grabbing, because there's software for that, that you want the views and clicks, then, you really, or you use AI to make sure you have a very attention grabbing title on your YouTube. So, well, I think
because you're competing with all the other attention grabbing titles.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's exactly it. So, and that's what really drives me nuts with some of this, because for some of these people in these news organizations, it's a game. It's a game of views and clicks, and for us, it's our lives.
Exactly.
Like this is our life. Yep. This is not views and clicks. This is our well-being and our pain control and whatever else, you know.
I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing this for my life.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts as we wrap up and get a song going?
Great show.
It's always fun. We've
Get
been here
ready
for
for Becca.
Thank you,
Becca's
ladies.
gonna rock out for us.
And gentlemen, because Dan was here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today was Kratom Gals and Pals Day.
Yeah.
So, and actually, I'm wearing my Kratom. I got my Kratom Pals shirt on. Look, this is the Kratom Pals.
Oh, I like that.
The Kratom Pals. Got the Kratom Gals and the Kratom Pals. So
I had my I'm only eating a leaf shirt.
Yeah. Well,
From
always
Christopher.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Nice,
all I'm doing
Venus.
is eating a leaf.
I'm about due for mine. My swamp water Kratom.
Toss and wash, here I come.
Yeah. I don't know how y'all do that. I cannot do the toss and wash. I will only do
You
it.
just have to have somebody teach you the right way.
Yeah. I still remember the first time when I found a YouTube video of that, when I'm like, well, how do I got the powder now. How do I consume this? And I heard people in the Facebook group say toss and wash. I'm like, what's that? So I go and find a YouTube video. I watch that and I go, oh, no. I'm not doing it that way. There gotta be other ways. So I went back to the Facebook group. I said, how does everybody make their, consume their Kratom? And I got so many different responses. I'm like, okay, the heating it up with some water and then mixing in the powder and drinking it with some juice. I think I could do that. Although I thought I was going to puke the first time. I'm like, oh, that tastes bad. It's so gross. But if it works, it works, and you just suck it up. And these days, it doesn't even faze me at all. So
it was so funny today. I was outside with the dog before the show started. This lady was walking by, and I knew they were doing door knocker things because we have a legislative election coming up soon. And she walked by and she said, "Can I leave this with you?" I said, I don't know. Depends on what your stand is on Kratom and other natural botanicals. She said, "Can you tell me a little more?" I went, "Sure, let's talk."
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, Venus, I don't know why your phone's doing that again now when you unmute. Strange sounds coming, and I see a tail.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think today we're gonna wrap up with "You Can't Ban My Roots" because that's such a good rocking song, and we'll see Becca jamming us out to close out this show, and then we'll be back next week to do it again, and hopefully there'll just be some good news coming out of somewhere,
And it was such a positive show today, I have to say. Even though we were talking about a lot of negative stuff, it was still so much positivity on the show today. And that was wonderful. I think
we're
much
all
needed.
about bringing this all together and supporting each other because, if you don't have this support group, anybody in Tennessee that's watching what's going on, if you just don't have fellow Kratom consumers to hang out with and talk and be a support system, it's scary. And Kansas and these other states right now with what they're doing. Isn't it on the desk of another governor? Was it Iowa? Where else is
Kentucky?
Kentucky. I
Bashir,
mean,
Governor Bashir.
Scary.
No.
Very scary.
And that's another one where they slipped it into another bill.
And that's just wrong. That shouldn't even be allowed.
No, it shouldn't.
That should not be allowed.
No.
So it's a scary
And don't
time.
forget South Carolina hearing next Tuesday. That's a big one.
And isn't Delaware coming up, Venus?
Yes, ma'am. I was just going to say Delaware's after that.
I think she's typing it on her phone into the chat. Because Delaware. Yeah, here she is. Delaware's on the 15th. The best way to just stay on top of these different things, you can go to the botanicalae.org website that Robin has. You can sign up for the email list with the, I think these days I'll just say Global Kratom Coalition. I would sign up for theirs.
They do a really good email. Really good.
Yeah. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. She's working in the yard, but listening to us. because she has her Kratom. I love that.
Hi,
And
Sherry.
Sherry, thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. That, you know, we have such a great community, and people that come here, that watch us, they know what we talk about and what we're saying. So Mobile Dental says they said in the news that Kansas did ban both starting July 1st.
Yep.
So
yeah, the bill is written, the amendment is written really weird, but I'm going to go with it's gone.
Yeah, because we were talking about it earlier, so you probably, I guess you came in after that, Mobile Dental, but yeah, they did word it kind of weird. So yeah, we appreciate all the support here. And yeah, Venus says that GKC and BAE have been really helpful with her meeting, because Venus met with her state senator yesterday. That's so awesome.
And
Venus.
it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that, Venus.
Thank you, Venus. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you all for your advocacy. I mean, this is what it takes, of all of us taking action and encouraging others to go get up.
I'm so proud of some of my family that has been, I mean, all my family has been very supportive of me. But my youngest daughter, who lives with me, every Kratom article, every Kratom story, every mention of Kratom anywhere, she sends to me. Now, she tracks it even more than I can. And just want to make sure you've seen this one. Just want to make sure you know about this one.
That's
and
awesome.
It's so great, because I know she's also out there talking to people about it.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. My other daughter stopped by right before the show started, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I can't talk. I'm getting ready to be on Kratom Gals." She said, "I still can't believe you're doing that. You on camera. You don't do. We don't even have pictures of you, Mom." I know.
I love it.
It is what it is.
I love
I said, "Go on and do a screenshot, a screen capture."
And
that way you have a picture of me.
You're such a natural on camera here with us. Like, I would, if you had not told us this, I would have never known.
Yeah.
No,
there's literally the only photo of in existence of me. There's a couple from the first summit that AKA did. I actually let them get by with taking a couple there. And my driver's license photo. Other than that, no, they don't exist.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think
I just saw Bethany say, "I never would have thought it," but because she knows me from way back too.
Yeah. Well, we're all, doing what we can to help spread awareness, and that's,
Yeah.
So
if this is what it takes, this is what I'll do.
And when we try to encourage people to try to do more regularly. Don't wait till it's sitting at your governor's desk,
right,
to be banned. I mean, I'm glad I found out about the advocacy groups a long time ago when I was new to Kratom, and just being on the email list and getting information. At least I was always aware. But hosting the show every week and bringing everybody together so we can talk about this and learn and stay informed. Many times we're doing this when there's nothing going on, but we're still keeping the conversation going because it's important. Advocacy, doesn't. Well, I mean, there's nothing going on in Texas right now. I'm very lucky that our legislature only meets every 2 years. It'll definitely be up for banning next year, like it was last year. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to advocate just because everything else doesn't affect me. Well, actually, indirectly and kind of directly does. Because when one goes, then sometimes the others start. And Louisiana's right next to me. How do you know your state's not looking at the state next door going, well, they banned and criminalized it? Because that's what they do a lot, is they look at what they just did next to us. So we should do it too. And you don't always get the chance to speak out. Some of these, they don't let you talk. They don't let you do anything. Or
look at Michigan.
Yeah. Or they change the time.
Yeah.
Or you show up and then they cancel it for the next day and you can't go back. Like they do all kinds of things to make it very difficult. Sherry says they're fighting for Starkville, Mississippi ban, and they have a great lawyer. That's good. I'm glad y'all have a lawyer.
So glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And just because a ban occurs doesn't mean you can't still fight.
Right. Right. And here's a good thought from Mobile Dental. I wonder about the farmers who don't use social media or watch the news. They're going to go in the grocery store soon and not be able to buy their herb.
Yes.
And they got, Sherry says, Tupelo and Starkville are huge towns. Yeah, lots been going on in Mississippi. There's like these certain handful of states where it's just this constant, like, let's just go town by town, city by city.
Yeah. Massachusetts, Mississippi really started that more than anywhere. Several years back, they started that town by town by town.
Yeah. Yeah, because Illinois has been doing it for a while. Massachusetts, a lot of these states are doing that.
Yep.
Not good. Not good. But it can be overturned. That's a good point.
Yes.
There's a couple that overturns in Mississippi. We just had Rhode Island. Like, it can happen. But we need everybody working together to make that happen.
Right.
All this division is not going to it's not going to happen with all the division that's going on right now. That's for sure. You know.
And advocates are what drives the fight.
And but it's unfounded. This division is unfounded.
Yes.
That's what's sad. That's what's sad about this whole thing. There's no substance to it. There's no receipts to it. Give me the receipts. That's all I ever asked from email number 1. Okay, show me what you're talking about. Don't be so vague. Show me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Email after email. What exactly are you talking about? Can you tell me where in this conversation?
3-hour show. Yeah.
And not once was I given the information. I've gone back and listened to that episode multiple times. I know each of y'all have too. These accusations
and read the transcript.
They're not there. The accusations are not. They're not there. They're unfounded. All of them. Every single one is unfounded.
And everything I have said then, everything I said then, I have said repeatedly since, and I will continue to say.
Same.
Because I know what we are capable of. And we can do this.
Well, we're going to keep fighting. Nobody's going to stop any of us from advocating and fighting and educating about our plan.
I've never been one to back down.
Oh, Sherry said, Max said he's fixing to show all the emails in a show. Doesn't he have my consent to do that? These are private emails. Are you allowed to do that? I mean,
I don't know if it's. So. I think it depends on each state.
I think he should consult with me first, and we have a discussion about that. I think he should.
But even if he shows them, what's it going to say other than exactly what you have been saying?
Exactly. It doesn't. Exactly. Like, it's a non-issue, because there's nothing said. There's nothing devious. There's nothing, the way he's framed stuff. It's the fact that he would really just go publicly share this without even a consent first. I mean, I would only do it if I had consent to do it. So I don't know. But anyway, we're not going to stop advocating. We're not going to stop. The Kratom Gals is not going to get canceled. It hasn't, and it won't, as much as, they're trying to. They can live stream while we're live. I don't care. Go ahead. I mean, I'm still going to take time out of my day.
People listening for the fight.
Yeah. So
for Kratom, not the fight.
She said he said it. Interesting. Well, whatever. I thought he said he was done with us, and I guess not. So, whatever. But we want to keep Kratom safe and legal.
Yes.
So
that is my focus. I'm not going to spend time on personalities. because the fight for Kratom is much more important to me.
100%. 100%. I got way more important things to do than to be sidelined with a grade school type of issue. I mean, how old are we?
You said, he said, she said. Who cares?
Oh my
Let's get back to
God.
what's important, the fight for Kratom.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and play our song to close out, and we will see y'all next time. And
Becca's already ready.
She's ready to jam for us. All right. Let's jam out. We'll see y'all soon.
You can't ban my roots, nah, 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 nah. You can't ban my truth, nah, 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 nah. Hey, Florida, we see the game. HB 1489, not today. Natural leaf, ancient tree, now they want to make it a felony. Nah, we ain't playing that corporate tune. Kratom's the voice of 1,000 moons. From the fields to the streets to the healing hands, you can't kill what the earth commands. They assess certification, regulation, tricks. Just another play to make the people sick. They write the rules, we break the chains. Your lobby games won't own our brains. One voice, one fight, we rise tonight. You can't ban my roots. I'm a child of the storm. I was born to be free. I ain't bending no more. You can't break my truth. You can write your lies, but the people rise. No 1489. Mail orders ban, remote sales cut. Who's that help? Big Pharma's gut. They don't want plants, they want pills. They don't want cures, they want bills. But guess what? We ain't that dumb. We'll shout this message till the war is won. Kratom's our anthem, Kratom's our right. HB 1489, we fight tonight. They write the rules, we break the chains. Your lobby games won't own our brains. One voice, one fight, we rise tonight. You can't ban my roots. I'm a child of the storm. I was born to be free. I ain't bending no more. You can't break my truth. You can write your lies, but the people rise. No 1489. You can't outlaw the trees. You can't outlaw the breeze. You can't outlaw the dreams. We are Kratom. We are free. You can't bend my roots. I'm a child of the storm. I was born to be free. I ain't bending no more. You can't break my truth. You can write your life.